It's do or die, win or go home, all or nothing, call it what you want, but one of these teams will get more ice time while the other will be getting tea times as we have a deciding game number 3 here from the Fraser Valley, and what a night of hockey we have on deck. Let's see who punches their ticket to the next round, shall we? Thanks for tuning in, folks. My name is Brandon Astle alongside Landon Ferraro. Let's meet tonight's starting lineups. Starting for the Canucks, Artur Shilovs, his third straight start in this series. He is 1-1. On defense, Guillaume Brisebois starts with Cole McWard. And up front, we got a line of Ratu, Blais, and Carlson. Starting in net at the other end for Tucson, he was a first star on Thursday night. It is Jackson Stauber. He's 1-0 in the playoffs. On defense, Duda's going to start with Russo. And up front, the top line of Paganski, Yamamoto, and Hebig get the nod. Officiating crew tonight, the two referees are Mike Sullivan and Bo Haldikis. Working the lines, Jeremy Felcher and Brennan Walker. Got a packed building here in a deciding game number 3. Ratu against Paganski in the circle. And the puck is down, and away we go. Roadrunners chip it across the Abbotsford blue line. Mancini actually out there with Brisebois, not McWard. Seals off his man, and Ratu will backhand it through center. It's stolen by Paganski. Paganski dumps it in. Shilovs guides it to Ratu. Ratu gets a big hit in the corner. That was Hebig lowering the shoulder. Now we got Russo the right point with it. Throws it to his partner Duda. Back to Russo. They'll definitely look for a point shot. There it is. It's blocked in front. Nice job by Brisebois to box out Hebig. And we'll see that again a lot tonight, folks. The game plan for the Roadrunners is get pucks on net or towards it from the point. They've scored 2 redirections in 2 games on Shilovs that way. As the Canucks are going after in the attacking zone for the first time, Carlson puts a hit on Russo as Baines holds the line for Wu. At the right point, he'll shovel it down low as the Canucks make a change. Russo, under pressure, just flicks it all the way down. Drew trying to skate onto it. He might be on a partial break, but he couldn't quite catch up to it. Now he throws it in front and hits a skate, and Baines will turn it through center. Baines sends it all the way down before the red line. That will be icing, and we got the game's first whistle, 1 minute and 7 seconds in, Landon.
The pace is high to begin this one. Tucson comes out, wins the first face-off, and gets right on the attack instantly. Gets a puck in deep, gets a good hit. But then Abbotsford's able to settle it down, try and get back. They end up going for an icing, but Baines makes a nice play to try and shield the puck, not cause a turnover, live another day, but a big face-off to the right of Shilovs.
Yeah, I'm looking at the first few shifts in this game, Landon. We'll see who's nervous or not. As the Canucks win the draw, Baines with a smart play to tap it back to Hirose. He finds Jet Wu, backhands it ahead for Tristan Nielsen. Gets a promotion tonight to the second line. Here's a speedster, Sasson, looking for his first of the series. Backhander hits a stick and goes out of play. Nice job by Kevin Connaughton to reach in at the last second. Now we got a little dust up. Sasson and Nielsen involved with Connaughton and Agazino. And both teams got to be careful tonight. We might see the referee just pull one out of the pile like we saw in game 2.
That's generally how they run it. If they want to try and rein it in early, you just pull one, then everyone knows that you got to be careful going in. But for Max Sasson, he comes flying down the right wing. He makes a little shimmy shake, tries to beat the defender out wide, but the defender's able to get a stick touch on it and deflects it out. For Sasson, he's got the 1 assist, but he's leading the team with 9 shots on goal this series so far. Just a little bit snake bitten. He could be a guy that could pop tonight and make a difference trying to get the team into the next round.
Different looking fourth line tonight for Coach Malhotra. A little more skill for Chase Waters tonight, as Waters is out there with Klimovich and Mueller. Off the face-off, the Roadrunners get it behind their net. Zuber spins away from Klimovich. Max Zuber's had an excellent series so far. He gets it to center, and McCartney lost it. Klimovich trying to play it in for Waters, hit his skate, following up his Brisebois in front, and it rolled off the stick of Waters in the slot. And Lutz will try to take it back around his net. Lutz to center, picked off by Mueller. He sees pressure coming, stays on it. Nice job by Mueller to work it just across the attacking line, but not very deep. And it's dumped in deep by McCartney. And the Roadrunners change. 2 minutes into this first period, still scoreless. No shot on either netminder just yet. Here's Nate Smith making his entrance into the series. Played for the Roadrunners last year. He would love to burn his old club tonight in a must-win game, that is for sure. Smith, DiGiuseppe, and Kara the line. A veteran unit as we have a 2-on-2 battle in the corner. Smith keeps the feet moving, frees it up for DiGiuseppe. Smith gets it back to the point. Mancini bobbles it, gets it back and just shoots it in deep. DiGiuseppe falls, tries to play it in front, and Yamamoto swings back defensively to take over. Gets around DiGiuseppe and out he comes to center. Yamamoto got his first goal this series on Thursday night. Tied up. Canucks double team Yamamoto, but he still has it along that right boards. Now Curtis Douglas will make that Barron out of the right corner, plays it to the left side for Connaughton off his point. Connaughton shovels it back down low. Barron right corner. Has his head up, feeds the point. Lamoureux to Drew. He'll take a wrist shot, stopped by Shelovs. There's no traffic there. And there's his first save of the evening. 17:04 to go. Still 0-0 here at the start of game 3.
And that's a nice first touch by Shelovs right there. He's able to have a nice long shot. He can see it the entire way. He watches it all the way into the glove and makes a save. But more importantly, just before that, Abbotsford's able to get into the offensive zone, start to get some looks moving around, try and make Tucson start to defend a little. The game's been a bit easy. It's time for Abbotsford to make a bit of a push here and put the pressure on.
So they credit another shot to Tucson. So that was the second shot Shelovs has faced. As Connaughton takes a shot intentionally wide out the face-off, and Ratu with good body position, able to skate away from his man, and he's got speed to center. Canucks have 4 run the other way. Here's Mueller on the left wing. He'll take a shot off a stick, and that goes out of play. The big beam pole of 6'7" defenseman Mavic Lamoureux touched that one last, and there'll be a face-off in the Tucson end.
And that's an opportunity that the Abbotsford players are a little bit disappointed on. The play was behind Shelov's net. 2 Tucson players end up running into each other. They fall down, so there's a big offensive or odd man rush. But like you just said, the big Lamoureux is able to get his stick in the way and deflect it out of play.
Face-off left circle, Ratu, Blais, and Carlson out there with Wu and Hirose. Again, no Wolanin or Lecker-Mackey tonight. Smith and Kudratsev take their spots. Ratu against Barron here in the circle. Those two tie up. Ratu, left corner, gets help from Blais. Played to the other side, and Hirose off his right point, trying to hold it in down there. Takes a hit from the 6'9" forward Douglas, and Hirose stays on his skates. Now Douglas works it free and banks it off the boards all the way down the ice. And will this be icing? Yes, it will be. 16:29 to go, still 0-0. And how important is that first goal tonight, Landon? Game 1, the Canucks got on the board first, they won the game. Game 2, Tucson on the board first, they won that game.
It's never fun to play from behind in playoffs. When everyone on the team that's ahead is so committed to blocking shots, getting pucks in, not turning the puck over, it's really hard to come back. So that first goal tonight, more important than ever this season and playoffs so far.
Same lines stay out. Ratu on his strong side. Still going with a black stick, black tape. He's got 2 assists through 2 games. And Carlson wins the puck battle off the circle. Now he's tied up by Lamoureux. Carlson taps it to Blais, who gets it to McWard. Ratu, speaking of his stick, he just broke it. So he had to go to the bench for a change for Sasson. And Connaughton, meanwhile, takes a loose puck. And Douglas dumps it down, and looks like he just iced it again. So the Canucks will get fresh legs on while the Roadrunners still can't change. We'll see if they can take advantage as we're inching towards the 4-minute mark.
And this Tucson group, not overly tired, but have been out there for a little bit as Abbotsford gets a whole fresh line out of Sasson, Nielsen, and Baines. Mancini and Kudryatsev on the back end, just all chatting, talking, setting up a play. It's always one of those things where you make a play before every face-off, make sure everyone's on the same page, but it rarely works, but when it does, it can be so lethal.
Sasson against Barron on this draw. Tucson looking for a win and a change, and they do get possession. Douglas looks up. This time he's not going to ice it for a 3rd straight sequence. Roadrunners control it in their own zone. This should allow them to change. Connaughton, headman pass, tipped in by Agazino, who just stepped on. Him and Kudratsev tie up behind the net, and the rookie Kudratsev wins that battle. Protects it along the boards and feeds it to the line, but not out. Nice job, though, by Sasson in support. Stole it away and gets it to center. Agazino, the veteran, brings it right back in. He'll take a wrist shot off a skate. That hit Kudratsev. Now Sammy Walker behind the Abbotsford net. Can't get away from Mancini. And Mancini backhands it off the glass and all the way down. This will be icing this time around against Abbotsford. So Shelovs gets a nod in game 3, and I think I like the call, Landon, just due to the fact that he shouldn't be rattled by this big situation just due to his resume. Last year starting in the Stanley Cup playoffs for Vancouver, and the year before that leading Latvia to a bronze and being the tournament MVP there.
Yeah, he's played some pretty big pressure hockey in the past couple seasons, but not only that, he had a great game 1. Game 2, you can't blame him for that, so there's no reason to change, and like we were talking about, he's got the feel of the series. You let him roll it out now.
Canucks still looking for their first shot. We got 15-20 to go. Mancini with a aerial the other way, gloved down by Onyebuchi. This will be a hand pass as Paganski touched it next. And Onyebuchi was inside his blue line, so it should be an offensive zone draw for the Canucks. And Jackson Stauber back between the pipes for Tucson. He was the first star on Thursday, stopped 38 of 39, weathered an early storm. The Canucks had 17 shots after 20. He stopped them all, and Jackson went 12-7-3 this year when with the Tucson Roadrunners and had 2 wins and a loss against Abbotsford in the season series, and was up in the NHL a lot with Utah. Didn't play a ton because Karel Vejmelka was the bell cow, if you will, and Stauber appeared in 6 games for Utah. So he's got that NHL pedigree. Roadrunners win the draw. Onyebuchi clears it all the way down. This looks like it'll be icing again. So still no shots for Abbotsford landing, but nothing really doing for the Roadrunners as well, as both teams are maybe having a bit of a nervy start.
For sure they are. There's some passes that just aren't quite as clean. There's been multiple icings off either side. Everyone's just trying to get a bit of a feel of it right now.
And we got some shoves exchange between DiGiuseppe and Zuber. Maybe that's a way to get in the game as well.
It's definitely one way to get yourself in. You ever feel like you're just a little bit out? You just need to kind of dial in your focus. Getting yourself physically evolved is definitely one way to do it.
Kara Smith, DiGiuseppe the forward line for Abbotsford. Face-off left circle between Kara and Paganski. Top line is out for Tucson. 15:08 left in this opening period. Kara wins the draw. Brisebois stick handle, shoots. That was blocked by Paganski. He'll chip it up the wall. Nice hit by DiGiuseppe, and the Canucks fling it to the right boards. Here's Cole McWard. His shot blocked by Onyebuchi. He'll play it to Yamamoto. Yamamoto to Onyebuchi as the Roadrunners break out. Paganski dumps it in, starts a change for his team. That will allow Brisebois to go back to fetch and have some time and space behind his net. Feeds it to McWard. Now to center for Smith. Trying to make a move around Sokolov. There's no room, but Smith jars it back for Brisebois. Gains the red and chips it softly behind the net. Stauber is there. He'll backhand it to Russo. Russo will ice the puck. He thought he had Sokolov there, but he was tied up. And this is the 5th icing of the game already for Tucson. 14:26 to go, still looking for the game's first goal.
And Abbotsford's skating has really started to pick up, and this is a major factor in these icings that are happening. Just like game 1, when Abbotsford's skating and being pressured and pressuring Tucson, they cause turnovers. Their skill can start to come out. This is a good look for Abbotsford. We'll get this eventually here.
Waters, the Abbotsford center. Klimovich trying to win it. Gets it to the point for Hirose, who slides it to Wu. He'll take a shot that was blocked by his own man Waters, who falls. And Tucson will take it in transition. Here's Lutz, had some chances in the third period on Thursday. Dumps it behind the net. Hirose gets bodied by McCartney. And now he throws it in front. He just missed Lutz, and Waters will skate onto it. Looks to center. Waters across the attacking line. And we have an offside call as Mueller was a step ahead of the play. 13:57 to go, and we will step aside. The score, Abbotsford 0, Tucson 0. You are listening to Abbotsford Canucks Calder Cup Playoff Hockey, presented by BCLC Play Now on HLTV through FloHockey and soon to be Sportsnet 650. Welcome back to Abbotsford. First period here in Game 3 is scoreless between the Canucks and Roadrunners. Brandon Astle, Landon Ferraro with you here from the booth from Abbotsford Center. And if there's something that many of these Canucks fans can draw from, and Landon, we talked about it a bit in the pregame show, is that last year in the first round, they were in this exact same position, but on the road in Colorado, when the Canucks and Eagles were tied 1-1 going into deciding game number 3, came right to the wire, went to overtime, and Chase Waters got the series winner to punch your ticket to the next round. So maybe those players who took part in that game can draw some experience from that.
For sure they can. Once you've lived through something, good or bad, you learn from it and you move on. From winning last year and ultimate losing in the next round, it's all about building. You want to keep going to getting farther into the playoffs, but you can't do that unless you take care of tonight.
Ratu, Carlson, Blais out there with Mancini and Kudratsev. Fourth line is out for Tucson. I won't say call them the fourth line. They play the most out of any other line, it seems like. Puck is dumped in off the Abbotsford face-off win. Connaughton on his backhand, swings it up the wall. Mancini's going to pinch. Barron picks it up and throws it to center. Lamoureux in the Abbotsford zone, and offside was Drew, who was behind the defense. Sheloves is going to cover it anyways, but a close call for Hunter Drew, who has a goal in this series.
Tucson moved it from the defensive zone to offensive zone very fast up the right side. They make a nice bank pass, and as the Canucks defender goes to make a play to the outside, Tucson's able to poke it through just offside, but there's a nice clean look behind if they were able to hold on.
13:41 to go. The Sasson line comes out against the Agazino trio. Agazino had a big second period goal in game number 2. And has a lot of experience in this league. He wins a face-off 2 clean. It got away from Lamoureux, so Stauber out of his net will leave it for the rookie defenseman. Lamoureux to his partner Connaughton. Connaughton snaps it all the way down. It was tapped at center by McCartney, so icing's waved off. Here's Brisebois with a nice pass to Sasson, and it just got away from him. Now he's trying to catch up to it in the attacking zone. Nearly stole it from Stauber, who tried to play it off the wall. Hit his stick, and now Lamoureux picks it back up for the visitors. Cross ice, he finds Connaughton. Connaughton to McCartney, who taps it in. He'll go after it against Brisebois. McCartney coming off a 3-point performance on Thursday. And now Zuber off his left point. Plays it back down low. McWard trying to tie up McCartney. It's loose behind the net for Walker. McWard on him now. Walker right corner. Spins it back for McCartney. Jams it in front. Puck is loose and Sasson clears it ahead for Baines. Both teams look to change when they can. Baines dumps it in. His line mates go off. He stays on to apply some pressure. Under 13 minutes to go, first period. Pagansky lost the puck to Carrot, the right boards, who feeds the point. Woo with a shot, and there's the first save of the game for Stauber. And it was an easy one. He snatches it with the glove coming to his left. And there'll be a face-off in Tucson territory.
Just to bring it back a little bit there, Tucson dumps the puck in. Sheloves goes behind the net to stop it up. He makes an overt pass to Brisebois, who gets the puck on his backhand with two Tucson players pressuring hard. And he makes a beautiful backhand pass right up the dots that Sasson ends up being a little surprised on and ends up missing it. If that connected, that's a first breakaway and a real good first shot of the game. But a beautiful look and play by Brisebois exiting the defensive zone.
Coach Malhotra using the last change, puts Waters' line out against the McGregor line. It's in some skates, it pops free to Stauber, who leaves it for Russo. Russo dumps it out to center. Knocked down by Hirose, who's triple team, still came away at the puck, and Mueller shoots it back in. Stauber will backhand it behind his net. Russo can't get away from Klimovich. It's kicked free to Waters. Waters pass, hit a skate. Comes back to the point for Wu. He's got room with a wrist shot, blocker save. Rebound to Waters. Backhands it off the right pad of Stauber. Now the Canucks getting some more rubber towards the netminder of Tucson. Russo now finds the puck and clears it down. Not enough for icing, and it's both teams go off. 8-minute mark. First period, Klimovich got a piece of that pass, so icing's waved off. It's Stauber. Feeds it behind his net. Russo up the wall to Yamamoto. He dumps it down. Not enough for icing. Mancini skates onto it behind his net. Hebig trying to strip him. Mancini able to use that skating ability to get away. Feeds it out to center, and here's Di Giuseppe down the right wing on his backhand. Stops. Looks to set up. Takes a shot. Rebound. Blocker save got away from Nate Smith coming late. And the Canucks will regroup between the blue lines as Smith now hammers it back in. DiGiuseppe's there, leaves it at the point. Kudratsev to the right side for Smith. Takes a peek around his shoulder, feeds it back to the point. Brisebois' shot goes wide. Comes to the left side, Kudratsev behind the net for Kara. Canucks trying to get a cycle game going. Kara right corner, protects it away from Yamamoto, brings it up the left side. Backhander stopped by Stauber. Puck is in the crease, and Stauber covers it up. Oh, it goes in, but it's not going to count. The whistle sounded before it crossed the line. About a second away from being an Abbotsford goal. The ref lost sight of it, and the Canucks are not happy with the decision. And we might have a discussion here. My gut's telling me we're going to play on 0-0.
That's what it looks like to me. It looked like Stauber was able to get a freeze on it, and then it was poked away. But regardless, this was a great shift by DiGiuseppe and his line mates. And Kara and Smith, they've really expanded the zone, had Tucson running corner to corner trying to keep up, got multiple pucks to the net. It's amazing. As soon as that skating came back into Abbotsford's game, the game starts to open up for them. And because of it, they're in a discussion if it's going to be a 1-0 or 0-0 game still. But regardless, again, just a great shift.
Yeah, they are having a conference. If the referee says that his intention was to blow the whistle, it should be no goal. But if he just kept play going, that puck trickled past Stauber. It did look like the goaltender had it for a second, but definitely popped 3 to the back of the net, and it is no goal. So it remains 0-0 with 11:04 to go.
But this is exactly where, if you're the Abbey Canucks, you get yourselves lined up as quick as you can, and you try and get the puck right back to the center. This all started off a great extended shift, but Jujhar Khaira ends up with it in the left corner, using his strength, gets it all the way behind the net, and does the old Peter Forsberg spin back around and get it to the net. Ends up hitting a stick, and then the scrambles on. Yeah, you can see Stauber clearly gets his glove over the puck, but the Abbey's able to rip it back out.
Yeah, great job by Khaira to make that whole thing happen, and the fans got a couple of looks on the Jumbotron as we welcome in the listeners on Sportsnet 650 who are going to tune in to the action here while the Leafs and Senators are in the first OT intermission. If you're just joining us, the Canucks nearly made it 1-0, but the ref blew the whistle as he thought Stauber had it in the crease during a scrum. And all of a sudden, though, Landon, the Canucks have 6 shots.
Well, it's amazing when you have an extended zone time and you throw up 4 within about 45 seconds, how much different this game looks all of a sudden. Now you have the fans that are really getting into it, still letting the refs hear.
We'll see if the Canucks can gain some momentum off it as Ratu steals it. Pays it to Carlson on the right wing. He'll take a shot, easily stopped by the goaltender Stauber, who covers. And then we get the two teams coming together as the Roadrunner fell near Stauber. So a quick discussion, quickly broken up by the officials. 10:55 to go first period, and the Canucks have the last 7 shots in this frame. And nearly a costly turnover there from the Roadrunners, who were trying to flick it out off the face-off win, but Ratu picked it off and fed Carlson.
And that's where just a little play like getting the puck to the net, having a discussion whether it was in or not, right away, Tucson ends up turning it over off the next face-off. Now there's face-off to the left. See if Abbotsford can keep this up now.
Apologies, the Senators won, so they play on. My apologies, I thought it was in the first OT intermission, but that game is now over as Walker has the puck with space in the Abbotsford zone. His shot is blocked and comes to the left point. Nice job by the Canucks to surround the crease. Now McCartney will get it to the right point for Onyebuchi. There's all sorts of traffic in front. He shoots it towards the net, hit a body. McCartney gets it back inside the circle, takes a shot at the side of the net. Brisebois trying to work over Walker behind the net. Comes free to the Canucks. Ratu lost it to McCartney, though. Wrist shot, blocked in front, rebound in front of Shelovs, and he kept it out. Nice job sliding to his right, and here comes Sammy Blais, weaving his way through center, across the blue line. Blais, drop pass, wrist shot, Ratu just missed the top corner. Great entry by the veteran Blais. Chances at both ends. Canucks changing here in the offensive zone as the Roadrunners flick it out. Halfway through this first period, starting to get more chances here in game 3. Barron lost the puck to Max Sasson. Here he comes in the Tucson zone. Drop pass to Carlson. Wrist shot stopped by Stauber. And he'll hang on for a face-off. Nice job by Shelovs to weather a storm after the Canucks couldn't clear, and then back to the way went Abbotsford, and Ratu just missed a chance in the high slot.
And like we've been saying, Abbotsford's game starting to really come along now. They have another good entry, a couple good shots. Sammy Blais able to get in on a forecheck and deliver a hard crushing hit to another defenseman. The game's starting to turn in Abbotsford's favor, but it's 0-0. You need to keep your head down and keep putting pucks to the net. Keep trying to gain all that momentum. See how much more pressure you can force turnovers into Tucson's game.
The team that makes one less mistake could very well win this game. You got to be on your toes every single shift as the Canucks win the face-off. Baines behind the net, tied up by Russo. And Pagansky in good position, trying to get around Sasson, but the Canucks centerman got his stick before he could throw it out to center. Now it comes in the neutral zone. Yamamoto picks off a pass. It's a 3-on-2 rush if they hurry. Pagansky's shot missed the blocker side of Shelovs. And Tristan Nielsen stops with it in his own zone, goes cross ice to center for Baines. He's joined by Wu 2-on-2. And Baines made an extra move at the blue line, put Wu offside. So the whistle is blown with 9:21 to go. Shots 8 for Abbotsford. Scoreless here in game number 3.
And Baines using his speed through the middle once again after Nielsen makes a nice play at his own defensive blue line, strong on a puck and then making a far cross ice pass. But like you said, Baines makes one extra move at the blue line before gaining the zone, so offsides it is.
Fourth lines out against each other. Mueller wins the draw. Kudratsev and Mancini hustle back to get it. Mancini shoots it around the wall. Klimovich banks it, can't get it out, follows up. This time he'll skate it the other way. Danila Klimovich looking for his first Calder Cup playoff point. Risks a high one. Over top of the net, and Lamoureux will throw it the other way. Drew lost the puck, and here come the Canucks. It's Klimovich again, down that right side. He'll take another wrist shot, this time snared down by Stauber with the glove. Face-off will be to his left when play resumes. We got 8:52 to play. Solid turnout here by the fans at Abbotsford Center, who have been loud early on, hoping their team gets on the board first like they did in game 1.
Klimovich, like we were talking about in the pregame show, trying to get his shot involved in this series, comes down the right wall twice. The first one a little bit high and wide. The second one down, he had the sights reset and put one right into Stauber's glove, but getting shots on net, keeping the play in the offensive zone. All of this starts adding up. Again, you don't have to try and win it in the first period, but if you can keep this pressure, keep Tucson playing in their own end as much tonight, you're going to have some pretty good looks.
Canucks had 0 shots just past the 7-minute mark of this game. Now they're up to 9, which is under 9 minutes to go. Phil DiGiuseppe nearly picked off a pass at the blue line. The Canucks possess it in their own territory. An errant pass got away from Brisebois, but it comes back to him, who feeds it across to McWard. McWard to center for Smith, couldn't get a piece of that hard pass. And McCartney dumping it in deep. Here's Cole McWard leading the rush, picking up speed across the attacking line. He'll throw it down to the right corner and go after it. His pass hit a stick. DiGiuseppe trying to get it back around Onyebuchi. It comes to the point, McWard's changing. So it comes all the way to Jet Wu, who just came on at his own blue line. Wu finds Hirose, who gets it to DiGiuseppe. Tips it in deep and goes to the bench for a change. Now Ratu holds the blue line. Saucers one just over the stick of Carlson on the right wing. Russo feeds it up the wing for Walker. Walker got stuffed by Hirose. Nice pinch, but a good second effort by the Roadrunners got it out. And McCartney peels back and leaves it for Onyebuchi. He'll go D to Russo. Russo to center, and that is played in off the stick of Agazino. McCartney's after it, gives a shove to Jet Wu, who frees it up for Carlson. Carlson finds Hirose down the left wing. He'll dump it into Tucson end. Sammy Blais one-on-one against Duda for the loose puck and hammers Duda to the ice. Puck is freed up for Sasson in front. Blais has it. He shoots. Stopped by Stauber. Rebound Sasson. He can't chip it over the left pad. Oh, the best chance of the game for the Canucks. And Stauber does it again as Blais hammers his man to the ice. Roadrunners able to clear though. Robbie Russo's been decked more than a few times in this series. And here comes Sasson with speed. Left wing. Sasson takes a sharp angle shot. No room on Stauber. Oh, is the pace picking up big time now. 7:05 to play, still 0-0. Here's Douglas in the Abbotsford zone for Hebig. He'll get it to the left point. Connaughton, wrist shot blocked. Connaughton gets it back, feeds it around the net. Nobody's there except green sweaters. Baines trying to clear. Yamamoto keeps it in on the right wing. Feeds it to the corner. Hebig makes a move, throws it in front, wide of the blocker. And Sasson at the end of his shift leaves it for Nielsen. And the Canucks will break out. They need to change when they can. Kudratsev will try to wheel it in. Hands off to Baines, back to Kudratsev. Taken off the puck by the big defenseman Connaughton. And now Baines whacked the puck just wide of the net. Might have been tipped at the last second actually by Sokolov as McGregor shoots it deep. 6:25 to play. Nice job by Kudratsev to get Sokolov away from the puck, but now Sokolov steals around the Abbotsford net. He plays it for Zuber. His one-timer goes just wide of the blocker. Now Onyebuchi's shot hit his own man in front. Roadrunners trying to make something happen. It's stolen by Di Giuseppe. He'll bring it to the right side and spin back in his own end. Kudratsev to Brisebois. He's got room to the red line. The veteran defenseman flicks it in. That's knocked down. Looked like by a high stick, but play goes on. And now we do get a high stick as Di Giuseppe goes after Zuber. Zuber looking for a call. And I don't think he's going to get one. It's just a high stick against Zuber in the Tucson zone. And we will step aside. When we come back, we'll finish off this first period. The score, Abbotsford 0, Tucson 0. You are listening to Abbotsford Canucks Calder Cup Playoff Hockey, presented by BCLC Play Now on Sportsnet 650 and HLTV through FloHockey. Welcome back to Abbotsford. First period action between the Canucks and Roadrunners. Still scoreless. Abbotsford out shooting the opposition though, 12-4. As the fans swing the towels in the air. Carlson, Ratu, and Blay out there as Wu takes a shot. Ooh, and that hit a body and just went wide of the net. Off the face-off win from Ratu. Now Robbie Russo tied up by Blay, who's been physical early on in this one. Now Ratu takes it away from Duda, feeds it back to Wu, right point. He'll lift it back behind the net. Carlson after it against Walker. Walker lost it to Carlson, who pins it up against the boards. Ratu in there as well. Carlson fighting for it, trying to get it to the point. Hirose finds Ratu, shoots one towards the slot, tipped wide by Blay. Now Blay trying to run over McCartney, and he does. Takes him off the puck, feeds Carlson, who shoots, stopped by Stauber. He'll hang on for a face-off. What a period from Sammy Blay so far tonight, Landon. He has come to play.
He's had multiple big hits, 3 in his last 2 shift alone. But not only that, his last shift was the one where there was a mad scramble in front. He has a very good backhand that Stauber just gets his left arm on. But right now, his line with Ratu as well, just cycling around the offensive zone. Starting to get more and more chances. They're a big reason this Abbotsford team is starting to kind of gain some distance on Tucson in this early parts of the game.
Canucks put a new line out there. DiGiuseppe, Smith, and Kara. Here's Smith. Wrist shot just missed the glove side of Stauber. And now DiGiuseppe takes a puck to the face. It comes out to neutral ice. Douglas and Mancini fighting for it. And Drew able to find it and dump it into the Abbotsford zone. Shilaw's behind his net, leaves it for Smith. He'll bank it to Kudratsev, trying to find DiGiuseppe at center. It comes to Nate Smith, the former Roadrunner. Feeds it in for Kara. Kara on the left wing, walks in, takes a shot, and it just went wide of the glove. Roadrunners trying to clear. Cole McWard holds it in. Makes a nice move around Douglas. McWard walks in. McWard, backdoor pass, hit a stick. And it goes out of play. Great patience by McWard. Might have been better off shooting it, but tried to sift it towards the crease, and the Roadrunners are ready for it.
Most of the time, I totally agree with you and say he's just got to get the puck on net there. But as he made his first move and he starts moving down the right side, the right flank, he can see that there's two guys open on the back door. If he can just get it over there, I actually really like the opportunity. Now, as Tucson starts the physical stuff again after the whistle, if you're Abbotsford, this is when you have to be really disciplined. You don't want to see 4-on-4 hockey right now. You don't want to see yourself go down on a penalty kill. Stay out of the extracurriculars. You have all the positives in the game right now are flowing downhill from the Abbotsford side down to the Tucson side. So keep that up. Don't give Tucson an easy opportunity to grab momentum back and pull themselves right back in this game, even though it's only 0-0.
4:32 to play. Shots are 14 for Canucks. Sasson, Baines, and Nielsen, the new forward line. Canucks have really found their skating legs these last 5 minutes. Here's Nielsen, right corner. Trying to spin away from pressure. Sasson helping him out. Lost the puck as Nielsen hits the deck. Onyebuchi takes his time through center. Plays it in deep. Shilaw's behind his net. Goes around the wing for Nielsen off his skate. Lost the handle, and now Zuber left point. Takes a wrist shot, stopped in front. And Breezeball boxes out his man Pagansky and feeds it around the corner where he big skates onto it. He'll cycle it back for Yamamoto. Yamamoto left corner, working on McWard. Try to pass and hit the stick of Sasson, who's in support. And Sasson digs it free. That's how you play center right there, folks. Perfect position, and now he'll wheel it the other way with speed. Look at him go. Sasson to Baines. Backdoor Nielsen shot, scores! A 200-foot play from Max Sasson. He steals it around his net, turns on the jets between the blue lines, feeds it to Baines, who goes backdoor to Nielsen, and he buries it, his second of the series, and the Canucks draw first blood in Game 3. You cannot draw it up better than that.
Speeds all through the neutral zone. Tucson backs all the way off because of Max Sasson's speed. He's able to gain the line. He throws it to Baines, who's able to see that beautiful lane to Nielsen, who takes an extra half second to make sure he's got a good puck on his stick and puts it short side, cheese high glove. 1-0, 3:45 left, first period.
Unbelievable play by Max Sasson, who gets his second assist of the series. Give him 2 assists on that play. Even though Baines made that great backdoor pass, Baines has 3 assists in 3 games. And the Canucks have been building and building just before that. And good defense leads to offense. As the Canucks are looking to add to this lead, they're feverishly working for it in the Tucson zone. Mueller's out there with Klimovich and Waters. And the Canucks put it back behind the net. The Roadrunners in a little bit of trouble here. It's thrown in front. Klimovich is there, and now back to the point. Kudratsev with traffic in front. Wrist shot stop. Rebound. Waters couldn't find it. Kudratsev keeps the play alive and dumps it behind the net. Klimovich is out by himself. His line mates are changing. And Klimovich took down Agazino, who throws Klimovich's stick. Fans want to call. They're not going to get one as the Roadrunners dump it down. Icing's waved off. A lot of juice in the building right now, folks. 1-0 Canucks. We're out shooting the Roadrunners 16-4. Here's Mancini with speed down the left wing. Protects, plays it in front. Stauber the save, and he will hang on to it. 2:35 to play. Canucks had 17 shots in the first period in game number 2. They got 17 shots right now with just over 2 minutes to play.
Tucson's really starting to show their frustration already in this game. Again, Abbotsford has to make sure they stay out of it. Andrew Agazino gets shoved to the ground. He thought he should have had a penalty called. Well, His stick gets ripped out, well, then he throws the next one. The refs are clearly letting things go right now. You got to stay out of it and keep your head down, keep playing.
Canucks got to be careful because the Roadrunners a couple times in this series have scored late period goals, and those are just kind of momentum killers. They're looking for the equalizer right now. It's Sokolov to the point. Here's a one-timer. Connaughton shot, stick save Shelovs. Rebounds in front, now played behind the goal line. Breezeball's just an eraser sometimes. Makes a strong, calm play, and out it goes. 2:10 left in the first period. For the second time in 3 games, the Canucks have opened the scoring. And for the second time, it's been off the stick of Tristan Nielsen. Here's a chance the other way for Douglas. Cross-ice pass didn't work. It was behind Drew. Now Kara turns it the other way with Blaine Smith. Kara left wing. Cuts to the right side. Looking for someone to pass to. Doesn't have a play, so he gets it behind the net. Blay to the point. Hirose sweeps it towards Smith. Smith at the blue line gave it up. And it's chipped out to center by Barron. Just under 100 seconds to go now. First period. Puck is in front of the Canucks bench, and then Blake got decked from behind. That'll be a penalty, and we're not done here, folks. The Canucks didn't like that. As all 10 skaters are getting into it, both arms are up by the officials, and the Roadrunners hope they can take a Canuck with them to the box. And if you're Abbotsford, just skate away if you can. Douglas is the one that decked Blay, who was in a vulnerable position, so with 1:33 to go, the Canucks may be going to the power play here.
You would think so. Tucson had the original call. There's also a Tucson player it's hard to make out as the scrum's still going.
Hunter Drew
had dropped a glove as well. It'll be interesting to see how the refs have their chat and shake this one out, but it all started with Sammy Blay going for a change. He gets into it with Drew, but then Douglas comes in late and hits him from behind, kind of twists him over the boards, and it starts up everything, but it just looks like the one call's coming out of it.
And that wasn't a smart play. Blay wasn't even near the puck. Both referees had their arm up right away, so it will be an Abbotsford power play. And Sammy Blay has 2 power play goals. He would love to get a little revenge here on the big forward Douglas, who's in the box. First power play of game 3 goes to Abbotsford. They were 0 for 5 on Thursday night. They're looking to change that right now as Nielsen gets elevated back to the power play for Lecker-Mackey as he's out there to start things with Ratu, Carlson, Mancini, and Blay. Fans making some noise. The Roadrunners hope this penalty carries over into the second. Face-off left circle between Ratu and Paganski.
Sammy Blay with the 2 power play goals in game 1. He's the only one with a power play goal so far, and he just, after laying a couple massive hits, causing frustration with Tucson, draws a penalty. Can he make him pay now with his 3rd and giving Abbotsford the 2-0 lead as they're waiting to start this power play?
Folks, this broadcast is interactive. You can text in your thoughts to the Dunbar Lumber text inbox at 650-650. We've heard from folks all over the world these past 2 games. Brazil, Japan, Mexico, Maple Ridge, Grand Prairie. We got Corey from GP saying she's loving the energy, feels like she's at the game. So 650, if you want to get your thoughts in. Canucks leading 1-0 to win the face-off, and Carlson lost the handle. Paganski trying to clear, and it's stolen by Carlson. Blade takes a backhander right on Stauber, who makes a save. And there'll be a face-off again in the Tucson zone. And Paganski saying thank you very much to his goaltender as he had a chance to clear but fanned on it.
And for Abbotsford, it's about getting their attention to detail and just the drive of the power play. The levels need to come up. Carlson had the puck off the face-off, but he's moved slow, gets it poked off. They get pretty lucky it doesn't get dumped down, and they end up with a shot on net and a face-off to the left of Stauber. But if they can get that energy back up here.
Off the face-off, McGregor will poke it all the way down. Sammy Blay will go back to get it. Shots are now 18-5 Canucks after a bit of a slow start. 7-8 minutes in, they didn't have a shot. All of a sudden, they have picked it up in the last half of this period. Here's Linus Carlson. He has scored in both games so far in this series. He sends it over to Ratu, back behind the net for Carlson. He's pressured. Duda trying to clear, held in by Blay. He'll go back door to Nielsen, who's got some room. Nielsen hands off behind the net for Carlson. Up top for Blay. He'll take a wrist shot. It comes back to Carlson as it was blocked. And out the point, it's Mancini to Blay. Left wing. Cross ice, Nielsen, wrist shot, blocker save, Stauber not a play, and boy did Stauber look confident there. Nielsen had some time and space, and credit the netminder to make himself big and get in front of it.
What I liked about that little sequence on the power play was nothing felt rushed, nothing felt forced, but they were finding seams, confident moving around, and they ended up with Nielsen with a great shot from the right flank.
Canucks are up to 19 shots. That is a new season high in a period. They have hit 18 shots in a period in the regular season 3 times. Now they're going to be at 19 after Nielsen's shot gets credit. Off the faceoff, there's 40 seconds to go. Ratu swings it back to the point, and the Canucks set it up. Mancini over to Nielsen, right wing. Nielsen trying to get it back to Mancini. He does. Left wing, it's Blais. He's got room. Blais under pressure. Feeds it back to the right side. Nielsen trying to hang on to it. 25 seconds to go. Ratu to Mancini. Over to Nielsen. Fanned on his pass. Barron can't clear though, but he's going to draw a penalty as Nielsen hooked him. And those two are going to have a quick chat. Canucks power play is over. There's 47 seconds left in the minor to Douglas, but there's just 20 seconds left on the clock as Nielsen says he just lifted his stick, but not going to win that argument.
And to be honest, he did really just kind of lift his stick, but at the same point, there was just all of that. Tucson gets their penalty. In games like this, the refs don't want a big penalty discrepancy in there. They want to try and make it as even as possible.
The fans are going to let you know what they think about that call. They just saw it on the Jumbotron, and that was stick on stick.
Yeah, and there's a reason the ref's hand didn't go up until he realized it caused a turnover, and it popped up quick after that. So 20 seconds left, just finish out the period hard, reset.
1-0 Canucks. Abbotsford wins the face-off as the fans let the officials know what they think about them. 12 seconds left. Will the Canucks try one last rush up ice? Yes, they will. Here's Jet Wu down the right wing. He's going to take a shot. Stick save. Rebound to Waters. 5 seconds left. He's got to hurry, but he's pinned to the boards. Mueller taking out the puck, and 20 minutes is in the books. What a start so far, folks. Canucks have 20 shots on Stauber. That is a new season high going back to the regular season. It didn't start off so great. It was a 3-0 shot lead for Tucson 7 minutes in. But boy, oh boy, are they feeding off the crowd's energy now. They lead 1-0 thanks to an opening goal from Tristan Nielsen, who was in the box in the next minute and 40 seconds.
And like you said, it was all Tucson for the first few minutes. But once Abbotsford's legs got underneath them, the game completely shifted on its head. And now Abbotsford's in the driver's seat. There's a lot of game left, 2 periods to play, but they've got the 1-0 lead and they've got the momentum. It's time for a reset. They're going to have 30 seconds on 4-on-4 hockey, and then they're going to have about a minute 10 of penalty kill time. So it's going to be a big start to the second period.
All right, so an 18-minute breather before the second period face-off. We're going to go to break and come back and break it all down. We'll also hear from Manny Malhotra. I caught up with the Canucks bench boss a few hours before the game just to get a temp check on how things are going. So lots to get to. Stay tuned, folks. You are listening to Abbotsford Canucks Calder Cup Playoff Hockey, presented by BCLC Play Now on Sportsnet 650 and HLTV through FloHockey.
They just came from playing golf, so you guys are in for a treat.
Welcome back to Abbotsford. After 20 minutes played in game number 3, the Canucks lead 1-0. Thanks for joining us, folks. Brandon Astle and Landon Ferraro with you here in the first intermission. And boy, a lot to break down, Landon. Let's get to the scoring summary first. Just one goal to recap, and it came with under 4 minutes to go. Tristan Nielsen, second in the series from Baines and Sasson. And Nielsen gets elevated from the fourth line to the second line. Looks like it was a great call from Coach Malhotra. And Landon, talk about making things happen from behind your net with a good defensive play by Sasson.
That's where some guys are able to elevate themselves from the American League to the NHL, and it's for different reasons. Max Sasson, the reason he got himself into so many games this year, 29 up in Vancouver, is his full 200-foot game and his speed. He makes the play behind the net. He's in the right position. He doesn't try and poke and hope and hope that the puck moves along. He makes sure he uses his body position, uses strength, gets the puck, starts flying up the ice, and because of that, now he's got a 3-on-2. He breaks the line, he ships it across, and it turns into a tic-tac-toe, beautiful goal by Nielsen. But again, there's different ways guys can find progress, can find ways to produce. For Sasson, it's playing the game the right way, not taking an easy route, not cheating anywhere on the ice, and that's a perfect example of it.
And a few years ago when he joined the Abbotsford Canucks from Western Michigan, after his season was over, he signed with the Canucks. I'm not sure he's making that play that he just made right now, right? Because he wasn't really known for his defense. It was something that he wanted to work at and build, and his body of work just this season, his 200-foot game has come so far. He's now even shown he can play wing. He's done that at the NHL level, and that just bodes so well for his chances to becoming a full-time NHLer hopefully next year. And if he makes plays like that, why not?
It really does. And again, that's why the American League is the league that it is. It's here to develop. It's here to help guys take that next step. And year after year, Max Sasson's been able to add different parts to his game. And he realized that I'm probably not going to make the NHL right away as a power play guy, as a straight point guy. So how can I make myself different from someone else that they're looking at? Well, if I start playing in a defensive zone really solidly, if I'm good in the face-off circle, I use my speed, I make the players better around me. Now you're starting to pull things into your game and your repertoire that while the management group sitting 2 boxes down from us is watching the same game, they have the same thoughts going through their head of, wow, this guy has come a long way. Even after seeing him in 29 games in our colors, seeing him in the green down here, he's taking more steps already.
So wow, a lot happened in that period. We had just the one goal, but the Canucks had 20 shots. We had the disallowed goal from the Canucks with about 11 minutes to go. Sasson had a chance after that on a scramble in front. Sammy Blais laid some big hits. We've seen a ton of scrums after whistles. The Canucks had 0 shots about 7 minutes into the game. When did things start to turn, Landon, for Abbotsford in that first period, do you think?
Well, right around that, well, it was the second shot. What I ended up thinking was the first, but they added one just before that. It was the first time of the game that they got into the offensive zone, and it wasn't just rimming around the outside trying to get possession back. They came in with possession. They were able to carry it around a little bit. It ended up being a pretty weak shot in, but that wasn't the point. The point was seeing a puck hit Stauber, seeing players getting to the blue paint. And then from there, for some reason, it was just like there was a light bulb that clicked on the Abbotsford bench that said, skate please, because as soon as they did, the game opened up for them.
So looking at some of the numbers after 20 minutes, the Canucks had 20 shots, which I mentioned is a new season high. They gave up just 5. Sheelaz was fine. He had a couple of big stops in tight in that period around the halfway point. Shots on goal leaders for the Canucks. Carlson, Wu, and Kira all have 3 for Tucson. Nobody with more than 1. Power play department, Abbotsford 0 for 1. And in 27 seconds when the middle frame starts, the Roadrunners will have an abbreviated power play that'll be their first. But it is 1-0 Canucks. And before we hear from Coach Malhotra, got a lot of text coming in on the Dunbar Lumber inbox. We got Darren and Brenda watching from Maui. We got an unsigned texter saying Sammy Blais, what a player. Eden's watching from Toronto. She said that goal by Nielsen, Sasson, and Baines was textbook. We got Mike in Strathcona loving the engagement of this game. We got Colin from Caribou. He's loving how 650 is picking up some coverage for Abbotsford Canucks playoffs. I should probably read these beforehand. You never know what kind of pops up. But we got Kyle from Trail, BC, where the Ferraros are from.
What's up, Kyle?
Where I played 1 year at Junior B. We know the Colander very well up there, and a great spaghetti establishment. He's watching on FloHockey, so shout out to Kyle. We got Frank from Burnaby. And we got Wes asking how Abbotsford getting last change with their preferred matchups helped in game 3 compared to game 2. And I mentioned it earlier, Malhotra's been waiting a little longer to see who Steve Potvin's throwing out. It looks like he's definitely got some line matchups in his head that he wants going here for his team. And we got Yerky from Ottawa that says hi and go Abby. And I'm not sure if Yerky's a Senators fan, but the Ottawa Sens keep their season alive with a big overtime win at home against the Leafs. All right, let's get to the interview with Coach Malhotra. Before the game, I caught up with the first-year bench boss and got his thoughts on how he and his team are feeling after 2 games and much more. So without further ado, here is Manny Malhotra.
Well, man, you guys had a day to kind of digest things yesterday on the off day. Just kind of curious to start this. What's your overall sense you've gotten from your group on the off day and leading into a big game number 3 tonight?
Well, we're ready. It's just the playoff mindset. Whether you win a game or you lose a game, nothing changes. You have to. We say analyze the mistakes we made, look to clean things up, and then tonight we come and execute. So that was what we got done yesterday. We had a good meeting to go over some things, have a really good understanding of what needs to be done tonight, and now it's a matter of putting it out on the ice.
How much do you rely on the veteran leadership of this group during a time like this, especially this is kind of old hat for a lot of guys along in that room right now, right?
Yeah, well, it's obviously nice that we have guys that have gone through it and experienced it and been successful with it. But every game is different. We expect out of every one of our guys up and down the lineup to lead by example and just play the right way. All the cliches that you hear this time of year become so true, but it just becomes such a simple game. The execution of your game plan and how hard you do it is the deciding factor most nights.
Where do you stand, Manny, when it comes to how your team has performed through the first 2 games? Has it been similar efforts through game 1 and 2, or have you noticed a big difference between on Wednesday and Thursday night?
Well, I wouldn't say so much about our effort. At this time of year, it's about limiting the number of mistakes and give them credit. They've capitalized when we've had some major breakdowns, and we haven't returned the favor in terms of when we do have opportunities to make good. We just have to do a much better job of finding the back of the net. But it wasn't so much effort-based for me. It was more the execution of our details, and we made a few too many errors that cost us.
So you threw nearly 40 shots on net towards Jackson Stauber in game 2 and get just the 1 goal. Did you get a sense, Manny, at all any frustration settling in along the bench, or did guys remain calm for the most part?
Well, it's obviously frustrating when the puck's not going in. We were doing a good job of getting pucks there. It's just a matter of getting a little bit more traffic and looking for those greasy type of playoff goals that you see this time of year. But in terms of the quantity of shots, they were there. We just have to hone in a little bit more on the quality of them.
So when it comes to trying to get more pucks past Stauber tonight, do you or one of your staff members the off day, are you guys sifting through his game tape this year to see where he may be a little weak in other spots, or is it just kind of what you said, just the normal traffic and go battle for loose pucks to try to get goals that way?
Well, it's a little bit of both, just analyzing what's worked for us in the past, what other teams have done to make good on their chances, but our focus throughout the whole year has been about our game, and obviously they're going to watch the game tapes, make their own adjustments, so our focus the last 48 hours has just been about us and dialing in what we need to do.
A few more questions for Coach Malhotra, and Manny went with Shelovs in games 1 and 2, and tonight you call his number again. What do you think makes him the right choice for this big game here on Saturday night?
Well, he's had experience in big games, not only here but at the NHL level, and as we came down the stretch run near her, we just found that he's been playing with with a lot of confidence, and that's what you want in your goalie right now, a guy that feels comfortable between the pipes, that has confidence, and that level of confidence and poise goes through our group.
So there's still some guys that are looking to get on the score sheet in this series that have had great regular seasons. Obviously, they're probably a bit frustrated right now, but we don't have to name check anybody, but do you feel like there's some frustration going along in that way? Because when you're kind of a guy to be relied upon to score or be a playmaker, and it's not really happening through 2 games, it can be a bit frustrating, I imagine.
No, that's a word that we try to avoid as much as possible. For us, it's never about focusing on the goals. It's how you create opportunity. Shots to the net. We've had looks, we've had quality looks on the inside, and they just haven't dropped for certain guys. So we're not overly concerned with lack of production from certain people. Our mindset all year is that we do everything by committee. We defend by committee, we score by committee. So it doesn't really matter who's putting it in the net as long as the team is getting it done.
I'm sure you've noticed, Manny, it seems like Tucson has made a concerted effort to try to get shots from the point. And each of the 2 games, they've got like a deflection goal in the slot. Is there a way to combat that? Is it something that you guys have talked about a lot? Or?
Yeah, that's a big part of their offense all year long is their ability to get shots through and get bodies inside, and that's exactly what we expected. So for us, just obviously limiting their ability to get pucks in the net, for our wingers needing to expand a little quicker in lanes and then get blocks where we can, or even deter shots from happening, is a big part of that. And again, the net fronts, making sure we get our box outs early, keep them off of our net, and then take away some of those opportunities for them.
And finally, Manny, before the team steps out on the ice tonight, what's the message going to be to the group from you?
Same as it always is. We were just touching on it. We need to play our game at a level that we deem acceptable by our standard, and that's been our mindset all season long. It served us well during the regular season, and no need to change that now.
Looking forward to today. Thanks a lot for doing this, Manny.
Okay, appreciate it.
There you go. That is Canucks head coach Manny Malhotra. His club leading the Roadrunners 1-0 after 20. The second period face-off is next. Don't go anywhere. You are listening to Abbotsford Canucks Calder Cup playoff hockey, presented by BCLC Play Now on Sportsnet 650 and HLTV through FloHockey. Welcome back to Abbotsford. Start of the second period between the Canucks and Roadrunners. Brando and Lando on the call here from the Fraser Valley. Canucks put out Sasson, Baines, Mancini, and Hirose to start. We're 4-on-4 for the next 23 seconds. And then the Roadrunners will get a minute 13 power play to try to tie this game up, and they bring it in the Abbotsford zone right away. Here's Artem Duda, the good-looking defenseman, taking it around the net. Duda up the left side, feeds a point for Hebig, who couldn't quite hold it in. So he backtracks the center for Russo. Russo gives it across to Duda. His team's on the power play in 3 seconds, so they just want to set it up in their own zone first. And Douglas steps out of the box. Hebig takes the lead feed in. Mancini ties him up. Hebig now under pressure from Waters. It's loose for Mueller. Perfectly executed double team there, and it's dumped all the way down. Roadrunners already down to a minute to work with as Mueller takes it away from Zuber, now trying to eat some clock. Has a man in front, that's Waters wide open, he scores! Oh, captain, my captain! Great patience, it's a short-handed goal for Chase Waters, and what a job by Ty Mueller to make it all happen behind the net. What a way to get your first Calder Cup playoff point for Ty Mueller as he stole it behind the goal line and set up Waters, who slides it along the ice. A huge start to the second period. Abbotsford leads by 2.
One of the main reasons Ty Mueller got his call up in 2 games this year was his board battle, his compete level. Well, that goal by Chase Waters, was all off of his work. Unbelievable play, but the patience to be able to go backhand and beat it to the empty net.
Roadrunners still on the power play, trying to get that one back. Here's Yamamoto setting up in the corner. Agazino's pass blocked by the big shin pad of Brisebois. He's trying to work it free. Yamamoto digs it to the point for Zuber. They're on the power play for 23 more seconds. Walker feeds it up to the left point. Ratu applies some pressure. Nice job by McCartney to get away. Now it comes back to the point for Zuber. Right wing feed Yamamoto. Power play's over now in 10 seconds. Still no shots for Tucson. It's sent in front. Rebound and just put wide by McCartney. He was wide open. And Ratu clears it to center for Di Giuseppe, and the power play is done. So the Canucks score a goal and don't give one up. They lead by 2 on a quick goal from Chase Waters. The only assist going to Ty Mueller. What a start. We'll see how the Roadrunners respond. Here's Douglas with a wrist shot, missed the glove side of Shelov's. Mancini takes the hit to make the play. Here comes Jujar Kara with speed. Down the right wing in the attacking zone. Kara in front and taking a stab at it was Smith. Gets it back now to Smith behind the net. Trying to keep the feet moving, feeds a point for Kudratsev over to Mancini. All sorts of traffic in front. Mancini hangs on to it. He shoots and he just put it wide.
What a play.
That would have been something. Great confidence and patience by Victor Mancini. There was a scrum in front of the net. I don't think the goaltender Stauber saw it as the Canucks dump it in. They're up to 21 shots. We're at 5-on-5. Linus Karlsson with a steal, looked out, nearly ran over there as he didn't see the oncoming Julian Lutz. And now McWard has a man behind the defense. He's trying to hit him with a pass, but Lutz picked it off. He'll bring it back in down the left wing. He's got a man in front. Centering feed hit the skate of McGregor and ends up behind the net. Karlsson ties him up. Abbotsford outnumbers the puck, and it works perfectly. It finds Sammy Blais, and his backhand feed is picked off by Sokolov. He feeds McGregor inside the circle. Back to Sokolov. His shot kicked away by Shelov's. Nice stop by the netminder. He gets a round of applause as Ratu works it the other way in transition. Puck is chipped towards the slot. Onyebuchi takes over. Trying to get away from Karlsson. It's played or up the wall. Max Sasson just stole it. He's fresh. Trying to find Jet Wu, but Sokolov plays it away from him to neutral ice. 3 minutes played, second period. Canucks back on the attack. It's Nielsen with a drop pass just out of the reach of Sasson. Roadrunners take it away. Sokolov to Yamamoto. He'll dump it in and go after against Hirose. Those two tie up behind the net. Sasson's in deep. He wins the puck battle, chips it up to center, goes through the skates of Baines, and this will be icing because he didn't touch it. Fans thought that Baines won the foot race, but faceoff's coming all the way back towards Shelov. 16-18 to go, 2-0 Abbotsford.
Ty goes to the runner on that one. Baines turns on the Jets, but just equals up to Zuber's shoulder, so they'll blow the icing. It comes back down this way. Just one thing to nitpick a little bit here about Abbotsford in the last couple minutes since the power play or their penalty kill ended. They've gotten a little bit more careless with the puck, not stopping on turnovers. Just need to tighten it right back up a little bit. They're playing too good of a game to let it slide right now.
So Chase Waters has his third career Calder Cup playoff goal, and a fun fact about Chase, his previous 2 goals are game winners. Roadrunners win the faceoff. Zuber with a blast is blocked in front, and the Canucks will find the loose puck. It's Hirose. He'll one-hand it to center for Nielsen. Nielsen dumps it in, and the Canucks can change after the icing. We're now 4 minutes into the second period. Paganski in the Abbotsford zone drops it for Yamamoto, but offside is the call as Yamamoto argues the case. So how about this, Landon? Malhotra shuffles the deck. He elevates Nielsen to play with Baines and Sasson. Nielsen opens the scoring in the first period. He puts Mueller with Waters. Who scores the next goal? Waters from Mueller.
It's like Manny Malhotra knows what he's doing behind the bench.
Easy. Another day at the office, right?
But that's where having a coach that has a pulse on the team and knows what the feeling's like and can understand how one player and the type of player he is can help another guy. It's great movement by the head coach.
Off the face-off, it's dumped down and icing's waved off. Chase Waters and Mueller beat out the icing. Mueller up the right wing, plays it to the left side for Kudratsev. Off his skate, makes a nice play to Klimovich, who takes a shot that gets blocked. Lamoureux got in the way and feeds it out to center. Here's McCartney with speed in the Abbotsford zone. Looking to make a pass, has it on the right side. Goes to the left point, Connaughton, there's all sorts of traffic in front. Connaughton plays it behind the net. Agazino around Kudratsev, trying to take it to the blue line. Takes a shot, blocked by Kudratsev, and he knifes it to center and away from the puck. A headshot, Agazino on Mueller, and he is down, and he's getting a penalty for that for sure. And this does not look good. Mueller's on his stomach. Just a play that was unnecessary from the veteran Agazino, who got the arm up on an unsuspecting Ty Mueller.
Didn't have the puck, didn't touch it, was no way to know that this hit was coming. This was an angry Agazino that, as he came across the ice, he had just turned the puck over and decided, I'm going to try and hit someone, and well, he picked an unsuspecting player, and he's sitting in the box now.
It was kind of like the haggle play on Barkov.
It was honestly quite similar to it. The puck was over there, and you can understand how you're going to make the hit, but as soon as you see the guy doesn't have the puck, you got to try and back off and get yourself out of it. But for Agazino, it's like he committed to it even more.
So Mueller gets up under his own power and skates to the bench. Here's the replay if you're watching at home. The puck was on the other side of the ice.
There was a high flip coming through, wasn't even close.
This might be 5. Mueller's going to get looked at over at the bench, and he's had upper body injury earlier this year, so hopefully he's all right. We had Paganski get a 5-minute major, but not a game misconduct in game 1. We'll see if the referees do here with Agazino. Well, and 5 is up on the board. We'll see if he goes and takes a shower or not. A 5-minute power play coming up for the Canucks. They did score one and give one up on their last 5-minute advantage on Wednesday night, Landon.
Well, and that's where experience comes in. It doesn't matter. There was only a few nights ago. You're now, even if you had 0 AHL playoff experience, you're now in your 3rd. You have to learn fast, especially in a best-of-3 in the first round. So can they learn how they kind of backed off a little bit when they got the 5-minute power play in the first game? Can they kind of refocus here and understand the situation? You're sitting up 2-0 right now, 15 minutes left in the second. If you can pot another couple here, you can put this game away pretty much sitting in the second period and set yourself up nice.
Canucks were the best second period team in the regular season with a plus 29 goal differential. Wasn't even close. They ran away in that stat. So Agazino is not tossed. I haven't seen this.
Not twice.
Twice in 3 games where a player gets a 5-minute major but not a game misconduct. Like, if it's the regular season, he is gone. But Agazino is allowed to stay in. He'll try to sweat out 5 minutes in the box. Canucks on their second power play, and they can score as many times as they want on it. 15-18 to go. And good news is that when the camera went over to the bench, Mueller was still there. So the Canucks win the draw and set it up. They're up 2-0. Here's Blay left wing, throwing it in front. Carlson, backdoor pass, and Nielsen is coming just a bit late. Canucks set it up on the other side. Nielsen, left wing for Blay, fakes a shot, throws it in front and hits a stick and goes out of play. That's where Blay scored his power play goal in game 1. That was like a slap pass.
Yeah, the difference there, game 1, he was already coming down with speed on the flank, and he had no other thought in his head other than winding up and taking the shot. Here, I understand what he was doing, and I like it because the shot wasn't really quite there, but Carlson was sliding back doors the righty for a one touch into the empty net if it could get through.
Shots are 2-1 in this period for Tucson, but the one the Canucks had ended up in the back of the net. Ratu wins the draw to Mancini. He nearly scored earlier this period. Nice poise to throw it over to Nielsen in traffic. Nielsen trying to get it towards the net. He did. Rebound in front. Ratu can stuff it home. He'll swing it back to the left boards though for Blay. Blay takes his time back behind the net. Carlson to Ratu shot, and it hit the shoulder of Stauber, and the Roadrunners get it and clear.
It's a great first 40 seconds, though. A couple really good chances. They're able to move it around. You can just see the confidence oozing out of Mancini in the way he's handling the puck right now.
Mancini up ahead for Baines, who just came on. He'll shoot it in. Klimovich out there as well. Can't stop it. It comes back into Abbotsford ice for Max Sasson to skate onto, and sometimes he'll just be a one-man entry, and he'll do that right now with speed. Sasson to Baines. It's chipped down low. Lamoureux will take over behind the net. Trying to find Connaughton, and he's able to knife it out to center. Minute 15 gone in this 5-minute power play. The Canucks regroup in their own zone. Kudratsev, head up, finds Baines down the left wing. Baines trying to set things up, goes to the right side for Klimovich. Klimovich pressured, plays it back to the corner for Baines. Baines with a quick feed to Waters. Saucers it back to Baines, and it's played up top for Kudratsev. Traffic forming in front. Baines has it left circle. Down low, Waters to Sasson, he scores! Baines, Waters, Sasson, 3-0 Canucks. It's a power play goal, and Max has his second point in Game 3 as that was perfectly drawn up. It is all Canucks, and they're still on the power play.
And what a play by the Abbey Canucks. As soon as the second unit got out on the ice, the puck was in the defensive zone. Sasson picks it up, he tries to go by himself, it doesn't work. They all come back as a 5-man unit. Now they're able to enter together. They move it around well, and then another tic-tac-toe from the flank, goal line to Sasson in the slot, and he hammers it home, low glove, 3-0, 13:40 left in the second.
And they still got 3:10 left to work with on this 5-minute power play. Sasson with a goal and assist tonight. Baines has 2 helpers. Here's Tristan Nielsen cutting in, and he ran over the goaltender. He's getting a penalty for that. So the power play isn't going to be completely over. We'll be 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. Nielsen took it hard to the crease and bowled over Stauber, so the Roadrunners can stop the bleeding a bit here. So 13:18 to go. Chase Waters with his second point in the period as well, as he set up Sasson, who was in the bumper. Remember landing in the first period in Game 1, Sasson had a great chance on the power play in the bumper. This time, he made sure it went in.
Well, on that bumper spot, the way that Abbey Canucks move the puck around when they're really moving it in the offensive zone on a power play, that bumper play is there 100% of the time. The way that Tucson's killing, they run so fast to the flanker that PK guy can't scramble back to the middle. So Abbotsford, as they keep looking to make plays through this power play, once it gets back to it, keep looking for it.
So a little extra room here, 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes if there's no penalties called in between. Mueller, Waters, Hirose, and Wu, the 4 skaters. And Waters couldn't take the pass off his skate, but he stole it back from Pagansky. Nice play by Chase Waters, who has come to play tonight. And now he's going to the net looking for a pass from Wu, but it hit a stick. Ty Mueller lost the handle. Pagansky in transition, trying to make a pass at center. Waters is there. Roadrunners are changing, got to be careful. If they touched it, it would have been too many men. Now the Canucks send it in their own zone and go to the bench for a change. 12:35 to play here in the second. Canucks had a 3-goal lead in Game 1 in the second period as well. They're up by 3 right now as Cole McWard brings it in, feeds a point. Brisebois open. He'll send it down for Sasson, and a sharp angle shot is denied by Stauber. Now Sokolov saucering one ahead for Connaughton. McWard trying to keep it inside the blue line. Gets help from DiGiuseppe, and now it's played to center. It's an odd-man rush for the Roadrunners if they hurry. Here's Sokolov down the right wing. Drop pass, Connaughton, backdoor feed, and Brisebois got his stick in the way. And now the Canucks have numbers if they want it. Kara to the left wing for DiGiuseppe. He'll tee up a shot off the glove of Stauber and wide. Back and forth we go. We're 4-on-4 for another 35 seconds. Getting close to the halfway point of this game. Now it's the Roadrunners' turn. The other way, Hebig shot, kicked away by Shilovs. Zuber follows up, and now Hebig behind the net. Looking for someone to pass to. Hebig on the right wing finds Zuber. Backdoor pass. Here's a shot by McCartney and a glove save by Sheloves. No rebound. Fans love it.
Best save of the night for Sheloves right there. Comes with 11:40 left in the second. They got the 3-0 lead, and he makes sure it stays there.
We'll step aside. The score, Abbotsford 3, Tucson no score. You are listening to Abbotsford Canucks Calder Cup Playoff Hockey, presented by BCLC Play Now on Sportsnet 650 and HLTV through FloHockey. Welcome back to Abbotsford Center in a deciding game 3. It is 3-0 Abbotsford with 11:37 to go. We're 4-on-4 for another 19 seconds, and then the Canucks will have another minute on the power play to work with. And they do have a power play goal courtesy of Max Sasson. His first of the series from Waters and Baines. Baines and Waters have combined for 4 points tonight. Should say Baines, Waters, and Sasson have combined for 6 points.
Sounds nice, doesn't it?
Not too shabby, and we still have half a game to go. Off the draw, the Roadrunners win it. Russo at the point, takes a shot that goes wide. Waters settles it down behind his net, and McCartney with a good job knocking him off the puck, but Sasson in support, takes it away, trying to get away from McGregor, and he does. He leaves it for Waters. Canucks will be on the power play now in 2 seconds as Hirose drops it to the point for Kudratsev. Kudratsev will take it in deep. He's got some room. His shot is denied. Gets his own rebound, though, does Kudratsev. Canucks on the power play now for 50 seconds. Kudratsev a little too strong on the backhand feed. Got away from Klimovich and ends up all the way down to Sheloves. 11 minutes to go, second period. The Canucks have 28 shots already. They're on pace for nearly 60. We'll see if they can keep it up. Will be a tough task, that's for sure, as the Canucks try to set it up. They do have it on their stick at Sasson for Baines. They'll try to feed the right side and hit the back of the net. Pagansky steals, and the Roadrunners play it through center. They do have a shorthanded goal in this series. Hebig dumps it in, makes a change, and the Canucks are running out of time. 15 seconds until Agazzino's due out from his 5-minute major. Sasson, left wing to Baines. He'll chip it back down low. Onyebuchi is tied up by Sasson. Klimovich down there trying to help out his centerman. And we are back to 5-on-5. Canucks 1 for 2 on the power play. Guillaume Brisebois chips it up ahead for Sammy Blais. Blais finds McWard, handcuffed him a bit, but he makes the pass to Brisebois. Brisebois to center for Carlson. Down the left side, makes a move. Looking for someone to pass to, finds McWard. Wrist shot, stop, rebound in front. Ratu put it just wide. Oh, it was there. Stauber wasn't ready for it. And now Douglas deep in his own zone, working on Blais. Douglas swings it towards Onyebuchi. We got under 10 minutes to go in this period. Onyebuchi to Drew, coughed it up to Carlson. Carlson swings it in for Ratu left wing. He's got some room. Ratu shoots, blocker save Stauber. Rebound to Carlson, he'll feed it to the point. Hirose's shot tipped just wide in front. Knocked down with a high stick, says the referee. And the Canucks, if they touch it next, play will be blown dead, and Ratu does. So the faceoff will come outside with 9:30 to go. The Canucks already landing 1 shot away from 30.
And it's a pretty big difference from the first 6-7 minutes of the game where they're just trying to get their feet underneath them. Well, right now, they're controlling every aspect of this game. They're able to control the play in the offensive zone. They keep getting pucks to the net. What that also does for the defensive team is when pucks keep getting thrown to the net, you have to stop and see where the rebound goes. You're always playing on your heels. You're always kind of second to the puck. Abby's able to keep flying around. There's a shot, rebound to the corner. Well, the next Abbey player's there to pick it up. They're playing as a 5-man unit right now extremely well.
Chase Waters is clutch, man. Last year in Game 3 in Colorado, scores a series clincher in OT, and tonight he's got a goal and assist in a series clinching game number 3. Here's a point shot from Jet Wu that's blocked. DiGiuseppe to the right point for Wu. He'll fake the shot, passes DiGiuseppe, who puts it on the tape of Hirose. He'll throw it in front, it's blocked. Puck is loose in the crease. Canucks scrambling for it. So are the Roadrunners, and it squirts free. And Hirose got a piece of it, but it comes back to the crease, and it's dumped down by Tucson. Not enough for icing. DiGiuseppe to center. Nate Smith flicks it high, glove down by McCartney. He'll chip it into the Abbotsford zone. Mancini around the boards for Hirose. It got away from him as Sammy Walker chips it behind the goal line. Roadrunners are going to change, so that allows Mancini to pick it up and chip it to center for Jujar Kara. Kara finds DiGiuseppe. He's got 1 assist in this series, does Phil. He'll turn in the right corner. His man falls. He feeds the point to Mancini. Over to Kudratsev, left side. Wrister stopped by Stauber, and he falls on the rebound. It nearly got away from him, but he's able to get the whistle with 8:35 to play. That's a 30th puck that has reached Jackson Stauber tonight.
And it's all because the Abbey Canucks are playing the game 100% the way they were designed to play it. They're using their speed and skill. But as they get into the offensive zone, they're not just throwing pucks to the net, they're finding ways to find that 4th man into the lane or into the rush. Hit him with speed as he's coming in. Kudryavtsev gets a nice shot. There's a rebound that they just couldn't quite get to in time.
Off the faceoff, Carlson shoots. Rebound in front, and it's gobbled up by Stauber. That was a quick strike by Linus Carlson off a nice faceoff win from Ratu. We'll do it again in the Tucson zone. Faceoff might be at the other circle, it looks like, but Carlson able to get it towards the net, and then Ratu on the follow-up nearly made it 4-0.
And it was a beautiful save by Stauber. He has to get to the top of his crease instantly as Carlson has the spinning shot trying to beat him low blocker, but he's able to hold on. 8.5 minutes left, another face-off to the right.
A face-off win. Kudratsev shot through traffic. Looked like it might have hit the post. Lots of bodies in front of the netminder, and the Canucks are still after it. Carlson, left wing, trying to keep it away from Pagansky, but the captain, Austin Pagansky, stole it. Mancini will chip it through center for Carlson. Skate to stick, has a man offside. Now he lost it between his legs. Roadrunners pick it up. Can't enter the Canucks zone. Nice job by Kudratsev and Mancini to stand them up. And it's played all the way down. Ratu's going to beat out this icing. He's all by himself behind the net. Ratu picks his head up, takes it up the left wing, feeds it in front. Here's a chance for McWard. His shot turned aside by Stauber. Nice setup by Ratu to find the streaking McWard. And the Roadrunners clear it out. Brisebois to McWard. Hit the big body of Curtis Douglas, but the Canucks in good support nearly had it. Taken away again by Drew. Drew around the cage. Up the right side. They're trying to get it towards the net. Here's a slap shot by Russo. Stopped by Shilovs. Rebound finds Brisebois. It's been a while since Shilovs has seen some action as the Canucks have seen enough. Brisebois ices the puck. 7:22 to go, and if you think which line could get some momentum in the way for Tucson, it's the big 4th unit of Barron, Drew, and Douglas, and they went to work down low.
It was a good shift for them. They're able to get some looks to the net. Shilovs has to stand tall. He's able to make a nice left kick save to hold one out and keep this game where it stands. But now Agazino pops out with his line as they're trying to find their stride in this game and help Tucson get back into it.
Tucson in this period have 5 shots. The Canucks have 12. Off the face-off, we get a quick whistle from one of the officials. So how about this? San Jose has gone into Ontario and swept the rain. So San Jose, who was battling for 5th place with Calgary at the last game of the year, they lost, so they finished 6th. They go into Ontario and beat the 3rd-seeded Reign
And that's not an easy building to go into and play either.
The Canucks know firsthand because they got swept by Ontario last year in the second round. So if Abbotsford does get through, they won't have to face the rain. But they cannot play San Jose as well if Abbotsford does win this game, because San Jose will be the lowest seed and will travel to Colorado. But the Canucks are just focusing on this game right now. 7 minutes to go. Second period. Klimovich does a good job of stealing the puck from McCartney at center. Looking for an option at center. Finds Waters, who taps it in. Baines on the forecheck against Zuber. And Baines knocked him down from behind. That'll be a penalty. It's going to be a cross-checking call. Zuber's still down. And he's going to need some attention from the trainer, it looks like.
That's one of those where this play happens quite a bit in a game, but when you go at it with that much speed, they're chasing down a puck behind the net. Baines is just trying to get a bit of a touch onto the Tucson player as they're going in. The cross-check gets a little overzealous and sends him in hard. But Zuber's getting up now and skating under his own accord back to the bench, so he looks like he's all right. The Canucks penalty kill is going to have to do a job here.
The PK is 7 for 7 in this series. This is a huge opportunity for Tucson, who are behind the 8 ball. There's 6:49 to go, and Zuber usually stays on the power play. He's on the bench right now. Shots 32-10 for the Canucks. Mueller's out there with Waters, Wu, Brisebois. The power play unit for Tucson consists of Hebig, Pagansky, Duda, Russo, and Sokolov. This game is far from over, folks. This Tucson team doesn't back down as the Canucks win the faceoff, and Waters will tap it back to Jet Wu. What a smart play by Chase, and it's sent the other way to Mueller, who knocks it all the way down. Waters felt some pressure coming and just put it back to his defenseman, Jet Wu, who was wide open, and down it went. Roadrunners get it through center. Pagansky in the Abbotsford zone, trying to set it up. Under pressure from Waters, and the captain picked his pocket but couldn't clear. Nice hold by Russo with the right glove, and now he settles things down on the right side. Russo to Pagansky. Hebig's playing the bumper. Pagansky goes to the left side for Sokolov. Back to the point for Duda. Duda down low in front, and a quick play towards the crease didn't work because Pagansky wasn't ready for it. Now the Canucks outnumber the puck, and Waters plays it 200 feet. Minute 10 to go in this power play. The Canucks trying to change. The Roadrunners trying to catch him. Sokolov saucers it in for McCartney. He'll take it around the net. McCartney to the right side for Zuber, who's all right. He's on the ice right now. Zuber pressured by DiGiuseppe. Plays it down in the corner. Sammy Walker's tied up by Brisebois. McCartney's there around the wing. Ratu after the puck, but it's going to come to center. Now Ratu with a steal. Out of the right corner, Ratu will take it around the net. Canucks are changing. Ratu does a smart thing and just dumps it back to his own zone to kill some time. Hirose finds Mancini out to center for DiGiuseppe, and he'll shoot it deep. And the Roadrunners have just over 30 seconds left to work with. Down by 3 here in a decisive game number 3. Here's Kyler Yamamoto. He scored in game 2. Down the right wing. Finds Walker. He'll try to play it down low. Stolen by Hirose. Can't clear though. Nice hold by McCartney. Mancini will take it up the wing for Hirose. Back to Mancini. Fires it around the boards, and that hit Agazino in the back. Puck stays in the attacking zone for Tucson. They're running out of time. Baines is coming out in 7 seconds. Mancini hard on his man, takes down Zuber, who's in deep. Power play's over. The Roadrunners have it. Here's a drop pass, Agazino to Zuber. Throws it in front, nobody home. We're back to 5-on-5, and here's Baines, who's fresh. Takes it the other way with speed. Baines down the wing, shoots, and he just missed the glove side. Canucks kill off their 8th straight penalty in this series. Here's Tristan Nielsen down the right wing. He's got Baines in front. Nielsen to Baines, and the pass was blocked in the last second. 4:25 to go. Nielsen to the right boards in the Tucson zone. Jet Wu swings it deep. Agazino taps it to the corner looking for Zuber. He's dog-tired. Nielsen gives him a shove. Sassen's in there trying to help out his winger. Puck comes to Agazino. He's got some time and space and flicks it out. Delayed icing, and it will be icing. Agazino can't believe it. He wanted to change. 4:06 to go. We'll keep it here. 3-0 Canucks who were out shooting Tucson 32-10. They didn't get a shot on that power play, Landon.
The Canucks do a great job of especially standing up on zone entries. Even when Tucson was able to carry it with possession, they could only make it to about the tops of the circle hash mark, and they Abbotsford would create the perfect wedge with 3 of their PKers with the 1 safety valve sitting in the slot behind. They're able to create that wall, seal it off, and ship it back down.
So a good kill, and now an offensive zone draw here between Ratu and Paganski. Paganski wins it for Connaught, and the Roadrunners need a change when they can. And Hunter Drew dumps it down, and off go the tired players to the bench. Ratu tied up at the end boards. Hunter Drew comes away with it right corner. Drew, pressured by Brisebois, feeds a point, and Lamoureux broke his stick. Tough break there for the rookie. And Ratu able to knife it to center. Roadrunners dump it deep, but they're changing, so Shelovs leaves it for McWard. They got a man behind the defense. Carlson couldn't get the pass, and Blake couldn't beat out the icing. Tough break there for the Canucks, who looked like they had something, as Carlson is hollering for it at the attacking line, but unable to get a piece of that pass.
That's one of those classic situations where, as that puck's getting bombed up, you can see the Abbey player look and see they have a 3-on-0 if he connects it, and he starts thinking about the next play and doesn't complete the first one. Icing it is. Ratu steps into the face-off dot to the left of Shelovs with 3:36 left in the second.
Still 3-0 Abbotsford. Roadrunners win the face-off. Sokolov to the point. Lamoureux wrist shot blocked by Ratu. It comes to McWard. McWard up the wing. Carlson trying to chop it out. Gets a second chance. Ratu in support. Can't clear either. Nice job by the Roadrunners to converge on him quickly. Now Sokolov to the point. Finds Lamoureux. He'll sift it for Lutz. His shot pad saves Shelovs. Rebound ends up in front, and Sammy Blais skates in front of McGregor. Takes it out to center and throws it in deep, and the Canucks can change. Just over 3 minutes to go. Roadrunners looking for a late one. Puck comes to center. Paganski into his own end for Lamoureux. Scored his first NHL goal this season with the Utah Hockey Club. Hebig brings it through center with some speed. Passes to Paganski left wing. He'll turn away from pressure, but he fell, and now the puck's underneath him. Kara's got his stick in there. Jujhar Kara trying to make a play to DiGiuseppe. It's stolen by Yamamoto. He'll take a shot, at least tried to, and now it comes to Duda, and a snap pass towards Onyebuchi, didn't reach him, and then Onyebuchi threw Kara off the puck and goes out of play as he takes the shot. Fans thought that was interference.
It might have something to do with him going absolute skiing behind the Abbey player Kara. As he's going to the corner, you could see half his jersey stretch back.
We'll step aside and come back and finish off this second period, folks. You are listening to Abbotsford Canucks Calder Cup Playoff Hockey, presented by BCLC Play Now on Sportsnet 650 and AHL TV through FloHockey. Welcome back to Abbotsford. Late stages, second period here in game 3. 3-0 Canucks. Face off to the left of Shelovs. Ratu going to take this draw against Agazito, who had a 5-minute major earlier. Ratu wins it. Jet Wu around the net. Banks it up the wall. It comes to Hirose, who's in good position, and out it goes to center for Baines. Baines has his second 2-assist game in this series. It's thrown in the net by Sasson and kicked away by Stauber. And McCartney will turn back. dumps it in the Abbotsford zone. Sammy Walker onto it, taken down. That's going to be a penalty to Akita Hirose, so a late man advantage coming up to Tucson as Walker hit the deck. And Hirose will sit for 2 or less.
Hirose a little bit confused of why the call was made. The plays has been moving around quite fast, and the two players came together quite quick, and Hirose gives the little bit of a pop on the hips, but the Tucson player, Sammy Walker, goes down quite easily as well. So regardless, 2:05 left in the second. The Abbey Canucks back to the PK. They've just had a very good kill. Can they do it again and hold the same score going into the second intermission?
Massive scenario here for Tucson, down by 3. They have just 6 shots in this middle period, looking at got more rubber here to Shilov's, which is something they've done the last 2 games quite frequently, especially from the point. Waters will take the draw here against Agazino. Canucks up to 33 shots. The Roadrunners stuck at 11. And a false start. Waters and Agazino will be allowed to stay in. And the faceoff's won by Tucson. They set it up quickly to the right point. Yamamoto. Over to Duda, now to the left side, Agazino. Walker in front, breeze ball with a sliding block. Now a slap shot stopped by Shilov's. Rebound to Waters, and down it goes. It was there, but Waters is in good position. And before that, breeze ball saw that bumper play coming. Now Sammy Walker across the right side, trying to set it up. Feeds the point. Yamamoto able to bring it in with speed. Takes a peek, brings it to the point for Agazino. They've got 1 shot on this power play, do the Roadrunners. Duda to Agazino. Back to Duda. He'll feed it to the right side for Yamamoto. Down low, McCartney. Up top, Agazino. Duda, one-timer, and now it hit the post off Shilov's. Close call there. Much better looking power play this time around for Tucson. They got 1:10 left to work with. Yamamoto right wing. Surveys, backs away, feeds the point. Duda, back over to Yamamoto. In the slot, Walker shot save, rebounds there. Sasson couldn't clear. Agazino skates onto it and sets it back up. Last minute of play, second period. Walker in the slot. McCartney had some room to shoot, but he passed. Now Duda broke his stick on the one-timer. Breeze ball finds the puck and dumps it down. 45 seconds to go on the penalty. Both teams need a change. Zuber wraps it out to center. Jet Wu stops it, skates it in with speed. Wu on the right wing, plays it to an empty side, and skating onto it is Paganski. 30 seconds to go on the power play. 33 seconds to go in the period. Here's Max Zuber on the left wing. Centering pass, Paganski just missed it. Hebig picks it up on the right boards though. Plays it over to Zuber. Power play is over in 15 seconds. Zuber up top for Russo. Russo to Zuber. Paganski's parked in front. Tries to get it to him, went between his legs. Now Sokolov off the left point. Behind the net, Paganski. 5 seconds left in the power play. Paganski with a chance in front, and he put it just wide. 4 seconds left, the penalty's over. Last chance here, and Kudratsev plays it out for Hirose, and the buzzer sounds. The Canucks have killed 9 straight penalties in this series. They'll take a 3-0 lead into the second. They bent, but they didn't break, Landon.
Oh, they finished the period extremely well considering they're on the couple PKs. Like you said, halfway through this Tucson power play, it's a much different looking thing. They were going downhill the entire time. They were a lot more aggressive with their shot taking, trying to find lanes, and they had a couple good looks. One goes off the post, but they kill off another one, 3-0. They hold the lead at going into the second intermission. Now it's time to reset, get ready for a big third here.
They had 3 shots on that power play, and there were some looks. Puck was laying there in front of Shilov's a couple times, but the Canucks were just a bit more hungry for the loose puck, and were able to get a couple of clears. So it is 3-0 Abbotsford going into a massive third period. The Canucks had 13 shots in that last frame. The Roadrunners had 9, and at one point they were stuck on 5 for at least 7-8 minutes, as the Canucks scored 2 early ones, and that were the only couple from that last period. So far, so good for the home team, but they are not satisfied. They'll be looking to close things out in the third period. We'll step aside for a quick break, come back and break down what we just saw. Thanks for tuning in, folks, on your Saturday night. You're listening to Abbotsford Canucks Calder Cup Playoff Hockey, presented by BCLC Play Now on Sportsnet 650 and HLTV through FloHockey. Welcome back inside Abbotsford Center. After 40 minutes, the Canucks lead the Roadrunners 3-0 in what is a must-win game for both sides. Brandon Astle, Landon Ferraro back with you. And folks, don't forget to get your texts in to the Dunbar Lumber text inbox. We've got a lot of reaction all night from people listening all over the continent, other continents. It's amazing how many Canuck fans are actually out there around the world. So we'll read your text a little later on here in the second intermission as we break down that last period that we just saw. Let's get to the scoring summary, Landon. And while some fans were probably still taking their seats during a shorthanded sequence, Ty Mueller was feverishly working for the loose puck, and I think that might have caught Tucson off guard because usually you don't pressure in deep when you're shorthanded, but Mueller made a good decision to stay on it. Got the steal, threw it in front for Waters, who showed some good patience to slide it around the goaltender. That's Waters' first of the series and third career Calder Cup playoff goal, which made it 2-0.
Yeah, no, I mentioned it a little bit as that goal happened, that was one of the main reasons why Mueller got his call up. He's had a good year down in Abbotsford, but they want people that are complete players that can really stand over pucks, protect them, battle on the boards, and that is him, Mueller, to a T. And he does it perfectly there and ends up finding Waters out front, who doesn't panic and just throw a quick one-timer into a sealed short side. He pulls it to his backhand, carries it with some patience, and just posits into the empty net.
So that made it 2-0. And less than 6 minutes after that, during a 5-minute power play, a perfectly drawn-up bumper play featuring Max Sasson scoring his first of the series from Waters and Baines to make it 3-0.
That goal doesn't happen unless the Abbey Canucks have great puck movement on the power plays beforehand. They move it around well. They're moving around clean tonight. And like I was saying, it didn't look like anything was rushed. It didn't look like they were forcing seam passes. They were taking what was given, but when you move the puck crisp, you get the PK running around and you find that middle open up, and Sasson found the soft area and deposited another one.
So they got a shorty and a power play goal in that last period and put 13 shots on Stauber. She Love saw 9 and didn't see about a lot of action. Didn't see many pucks through like a 5 to 6 minute stretch. And then that last power play, they got 3 shots on them and nearly beat them. They hit a post as well. Abbotsford's 1 for 3 on the power play. Tucson 0 for 3. So what do you make about the Canucks' overall effort through 40, Landon?
I think you couldn't really draw it up much better, not just because it's 3-0. Obviously, that looks good when you look up from the bench and see, but it's the way they're going about it. It's the commitment to the team game right now. You don't see any player trying to make a selfish move or try and hold on to a puck to try and make that extra play. They're moving it along. When they have a play to be made, they move it quickly. When they don't, they chip it along, but they know their next guy on the forecheck is going to have their feet moving and can go make that next pressure. They're filling in for each other extremely well. Not only that, but on the transition game, the back checkers are coming back hard. That allows the mobile Abbey Canuck defenseman to stand up, make that turnover, and not just chip it away, but now step up into it. We've seen Mancini take a couple nice rushes. Wu with a couple. Brisebois has made a couple really nice defensive plays that he's transitioned to offense right after. So it's good moves all around, but just like game 1, they had a really good start to the game, a couple periods, and then they tried to sit back a little bit and try and play a little more defense. Defense right now is not what the Abbey Canucks need. Their defense will come from playing great offense, holding the puck in the offensive zone. The way they skate and pressure can just keep frustrating this Tucson team. That's the way you got to go about it. No sitting back now.
And for Shilov's, Landon, not overly tested, but there's been some nervy moments where he's been there to make the save. And of course, what we kind of expected, he does look comfortable in a big game situation like this so far.
It's almost harder in a sense when a game goes like this, where there's so much time between shots. And then some of those shots have been, really easy, where the D have done a good job of boxing out so Shilovs can see it all the way in and make the save. But then out of nowhere, he's had about 3 shots that have come from point blank where he's had to really be on top of his game and make the sharp save, especially that glove save late that he made was a beautiful save that could have easily gone in if he hadn't been up on the top of his crease, cutting that angle down, making it a bit easier for himself.
I love the effort from the captain, Chase Waters, tonight, a guy that obviously is the biggest leader on this team, on and off the ice. And when you're a player, seeing the performance he's putting on, like, he's not going to be there to put up points every night. It's not his job, but he's got a goal and an assist. In that second period, gets a big shorthanded goal. But it's like the face-offs, selling out, blocking shots, finding rebounds in front of his own net and clearing it from danger. He's done that a bunch tonight.
And he's a straight effort player, right? And that's exactly what you want to see from your captain, a guy that leads the way, not just vocally and in the dressing room, but once the game starts, he plays the game hard. He doesn't cheat for offense. He's always on the defensive side. If anything, a little too much to where he's going to make sure that the play's safe before he moves along. But he's the perfect guy to stand behind, watch, and follow his lead because, like you said, he's got the goal and assist tonight, but it's the effort to where every other player on the Canucks looks at it, and when they're going into one of their 50-50 battles, he'll pop into their mind again of, he can put himself into the fire every time and come out with the puck. I got to make sure I do my job as well.
Looking at some of the stats after 40 minutes, Abbotsford 33 shots, Tucson 14. Power play department, Abbotsford 1 for 3, Tucson 0 for 3. And individual leaders, Archdeep Baines 2 assists, +1. Chase Waters 1 goal, 1 assist, +1, 2 shots. Ty Mueller's got 1 assist, he's +1. Max Sasson having a huge game so far, 1 goal, 1 assist, +1, 4 shots. Tristan Nielsen 1 goal, 4 shots. And for Tucson, obviously nobody on the score sheet yet, and leading the way with 2 shots is Ben McCartney. And so going into this third period, just some stats I'm throwing out there. They may mean nothing. They go back to the regular season. Abbotsford in the third period, when it comes to goal differential, 83 goals for 83 goals against, so that's 0. Tucson is above the red line. They have 87 goals for, 84 against, so they are +3. Again, that probably doesn't matter in a playoff series like this. And when the Canucks are leading after 2 periods, they have a very good record of 28-3-0-1 dating back to the regular season. And obviously here in this playoff series, they are 1-0. And Tucson going back to the regular season. When trailing after 2 periods, they were 4-26, 2-1. So what are your expectations going into a massive third period?
Treating the first 5 minutes like the first 5 minutes of the game, where obviously the Canucks didn't come out with the hottest start. They didn't have a shot for 7 minutes, but it's the same mentality. You take it as a 0-0 game, where because of playoffs, and you see it in the NHL level, where, you know, through the early parts of the first round, and you see it in the American League as well, things can shift rather quickly. It doesn't matter that you put together 40 minutes of very good hockey and have a 3-0 lead. If you don't keep playing, things can shift quickly, and once that playoff train starts rolling the opposite direction, it's hard, even if you got the whole team standing in front of it, to slow that thing down. So you got to stay on top of it now.
I want to put you in the shoes of Manny Malhotra. How would you approach this third period? Is it like, hey boys, nothing changes, pedal to the metal, let's really put them away? Or let's say like 5 minutes goes by, maybe 10. Do you say, hey boys, okay, let's sit back a bit, let's really clog them the neutral zone in our own zone? Like, how would you kind of approach this third period if you're Manny?
You shift to definitely a bit more of a safer offensive attack and mentality about it. If you have a play to be made, you make it. For D, if the puck's rimming around the boards, if you know 100% you can pinch down and get it, then you go. But if it's not 100%, you back out to the dots, make sure you get back to the inside and accept anything that's coming in. You don't make any easy effort or any easy offense for Tucson. You make sure they have to get through all 5 of you. But again, you still have to keep attacking. You can't sit back. And Manny knows more than anyone. He was a defensive stallmate out on the ice. He was able to really clamp things down, but he knows you can't just sit back. You have to keep moving, stay on your toes. Once you sit back, man, that's a scary place to be.
Folks, the Dunbar Lumber text inbox is hopping, it's popping, it's not stopping, to quote my good buddy Rick Dollywall. And this is not me texting it in. Brandon and Poco loving the Abbey Canucks effort. I have never met a bad Brandon and Poco, so thanks for your text, Brandon there. Golfer girl KP in the shoe swap cheering on the Abbotsford Canucks. Colin from the Caribou says he shoots, he goals. We got Jack from Campbell River. Love seeing Sass and the Swift get some points. Yeah, what a game from Max tonight. Jack from Campbell River. And we got a Brody in Vancouver texting in. 650 again, folks, is the text line. Brody loves having our AHL team in Abbotsford so close to Vancouver. It's been great for fans to feel so much more in touch with the team. The results in development have also been fantastic, just great. Brody, you nailed it right on the head right there. We got Corey from Grand Prairie, loving the game by Abbotsford so far, hoping they can finish this game strong. Corey from Grand Prairie, stating that Corey is a male, not a female. Sorry about that, Corey. KG says, Waters reminds me a bit of Adam Lowry, great leader. Abby playing really well tonight, says KG. Great efforts all around. Seelaw's been fantastic when called upon. Time to close this out, and that's exactly what Abbotsford's hoping to do in the final 20 minutes in a must-win game number 3. They got 3 different goal scorers, but they have 3 players in particular leading the charge offensively, and Sasson, Waters, Baines, and Shelovs has been solid tonight. All right, we'll come back with the third period face-off. Don't go anywhere, folks. Still lots to be decided. You are listening to Abbotsford Canucks Calder Cup Playoff Hockey, presented by BCLC Play Now on Sportsnet 650 and AHL TV through FloHockey. Welcome back to Abbotsford. Start of the third period between the Canucks and Roadrunners. It is 3-0 Abbotsford, who are out shooting Tucson 33-14. And I'm sure the Canucks expecting a big push from Tucson, whose season is on the line here in the final 20 minutes. Brandon Astle back with you alongside Landon Ferraro, and just a quick peek at the out-of-town scoreboard. So you know, San Jose beat Ontario. The Barracuda sweep the rain. Coachella Valley just beat Calgary 2-0. So the Firebirds sweep the Wranglers. So if the Canucks win tonight, the next round will be Abbotsford and Coachella Valley. So how about that? Coachella Valley finished 4th in the division, the Canucks 2nd. Abbotsford would have home ice, but they are not thinking about that right now, I promise you. They are looking to close out this 3rd and do not want to give the Roadrunners any life. And we saw it in game 1 on Wednesday, lad, and they were down 3 goals and really made it a game, didn't they?
They really did, and that's what happens when you back off your offense a little bit. You could tell in game 1 that Abbotsford had the lead, and then they could feel the pressure a little bit, and they wanted to sit back and control the game instead of just taking the game to Tucson. The success that the Abbotsford Canucks have found has been all off of their skating and ability to work back on the puck.
We're back underway, 3rd period, Canucks Roadrunners. 5-on-5. As the Canucks dump it down, this is going to be a quick icing. I thought Duda could have played that one. He looked like he clearly put his stick away from it.
Yeah, he definitely moved it away quite quickly, but
smart play by the rookie.
Duda, and he did not want to have to make that play running back with Carlson chasing him down and Sammy Blais, who's delivered some hard hits tonight. So the play ends up back to the left of Shilovs for a face-off as Aatu Ratu gets down deep into his face-off.
Canucks win the draw. Jet Wu tried to play it up the wall, but hit the referee. Still took a Canuck bounce. And Wu gets the feed, trying to get it to center. Canucks having some issues breaking out. Finally, Sammy Blais gets it in the neutral zone and banks it in for Ratu. Aatu Ratu swings it around the net. It finds Sammy Blais. He'll put it back to the side it came from. Russo steps in front of Ratu. Blais comes in, sweeps it towards Hebig, and the Roadrunners bring it the other way. McCartney's had some good jump tonight. Taking out the puck on the entry by Nielsen. Now Blais looking for Tristan Nielsen. He's got him. He opened the scoring in the first. Nielsen with a spinorama move. Takes it to the right corner as the fans ooh and ah. Nielsen to the left point. Breezebaugh throws it down low. Trying to get Baines on the tip, but he missed it. Now Nielsen leads it for Kudratsev. Over to Breezebaugh. Jumps over a stick to center. He's not taking any chances. He shoots it back in, and his teammates tag up onside. Minute gone by, 3rd period. Still 3-0 Canucks. Lamoureux taking his time before starting the breakout from behind his net. There's 3 Tucson forwards going through center, and the Canucks read it the whole way. Kudratsev plays it in for Sasson. Sasson with 1-1 tonight. Here's Mancini dumping it towards Smith. Nice play by Nate Smith to get away from danger initially, but now he's triple teamed, and Sokolov able to find Barron trying to clear. Kara got a stick on it. Comes back to Connaughton, and this time it's flicked down the ice by Barron. Might be a little too hard. This is going to be icing, and the Roadrunners can't change. 18-11 to go, 3rd period. No shots on either goaltender just yet in this final frame.
And this is why it's so important for the Canucks still to play the game and not try and just end the game and not give up anything. They're holding the offensive blue line extremely well. The D's able to stand up because he knows that his F3 is sitting right behind him in the neutral zone, so there's no danger there, and because of that, they're able to hold on to it, keep it in the zone, and cause an icing.
Ratu back out with Carlson and Blais. Double shift here for the top line. As Hunter Drew slashed Carlson before the official could drop the puck. And Drew, I think, is upset with the way Carlson's lined up. And the Roadrunners take possession off the draw. Lamoureux banks it off the glass and all the way down, and this will be an icing. A little too much mustard on that. Getting close towards the 2-minute mark.
And as it gets brought back, they're going to switch sides. Aatu Ratu wants it on the other side, so they'll be the left to the left of Stauber now. As he's looking and getting his guys set up, they're not going to switch side. Carlson and Blais stays on their strong side. Just trying to make sure that they hold up, try and win the draw clean and get to the net and see if Wu or Hiroshi can get one through.
Ratu turns his stick over to come a right-handed shot. And I got to ask you, Atlanta, do you have a drinking game with your buddies whenever Shorty says that? Is that true?
Well, I mean, my buddies play it. I'm generally working, so I don't try and partake in that. But no, when he first got up, it popped up quite a bit, and my buddies enjoyed the game a little bit more.
Canucks throw it towards the slot. It's taken away by Sokolov as Ratu won it clean, turning his stick over to a right-handed shot. I try not to say it as much because it's just religious how much he does it.
Well, after the first 35 times you see in the season, you probably kind of know he's doing it.
And you think, hey, let's start a drinking game. Why not? Here's Curtis Douglas in the Abbotsford zone for Drew. He'll take it around the net with time and space. Scheppingel shot easily denied by Shelovs. And it ends up in the corner. Nate Smith going to reverse it behind the net for Brisebois, who's tied up quickly by Douglas. Brisebois standing his ground, pokes it free. Smith is tied up quickly by Barron. Kara coming in to help. Nice job to create some space for Nate Smith. This fourth line of the Roadrunners going to work down low like they usually do. Douglas using that reach behind the cage, trying to find an open teammate. Brisebois battling Walker. It's gloved down by Walker, and we got a hand pass called, or actually a high stick called against the Roadrunners as they touch the puck over their shoulders. 16:54 to go, still 3-0 Abbotsford.
Tucson does a good job of holding the puck in the offensive zone, but the Abbotsford Canucks do an even better job of holding it to the outside. You can let them play in the offensive zone, but if you hold them to the outside, not much is going to happen. All that goes is it's stuck in the right corner for quite a while and turns into a high stick. Now Waters' line's coming back out.
No, the ref's not letting them change. It was too late.
Too late, but you know what that does? Kills an extra couple seconds, gives the guys a little bit of a rest, reset, and try and get the play back moving into the Tucson end here.
So we've played over 3 minutes. There's just one shot combined in this period, and I think the Canucks land are okay with a low event, third frame, and get lots of whistles if you can to kind of stop the flow maybe.
There's nothing wrong with that. You know that Tucson's eventually going to have to start taking some chances, and as an Abbotsford player, you know that's when you can take advantage. You don't have to force anything yourself.
Nate Smith with a steal at center and calmly backhands it in deep. He'll go to the bench for a change. The Canucks, I'm sure, will try to keep shifts short here in the third. Here's McGregor in the Abbotsford zone. Takes it to the right wing, makes the pass to Walker. Walker chips it around the corner. Kara is there first. Quick pass to Mancini. And a calm, patient play by Victor Mancini, and now he's going to skate it out himself. The one-man breakout, Mancini. Now with a drop pass, Klimovich on his backhand throws it to the slot, but nobody home. And McCartney will wheel back by himself in the Abbotsford zone. Down the left boards, he drops it for Yamamoto, and now a shot by Yamamoto, thrown in front, and we got a penalty coming up as Kudratsev got his helmet knocked off by McCartney, who was going hard to the net, or make that Waters helmet popped off. And I think McCartney was a little too aggressive there, and he's going to get 2 minutes.
And this is a big blow to Tucson, even though it's just the 2 minutes. McCartney's been one of their better players. He got 2 goals and an assist in the series so far.
He cross-checked him in the face.
Yeah, that was a bit of a forearm shiver coming through as he drops the puck to his line mate. McCartney tries to drive through and ends up just putting a forearm right into Waters' face and pops his bucket off. But he'll happily take that as the Abbey Canucks go back to the power play. Their 4th of the night, try and get their second power play goal of the night.
So some veterans for the Roadrunners tonight taking some undisciplined penalties. We had Agazino in the second getting a 5-minute major. And just now, we got a penalty to McCartney as the Roadrunners bring it in shorthanded. Pagansky's shot goes wide of the blocker. And the Canucks bring it to center, led by Tristan Nielsen. Nielsen to the right wing, but a step ahead with Sammy Blais. It's an offside call. 15:44 to go in the third period. And at the very least, the Canucks just hope to take 2 minutes off the clock here if they don't score.
That's always the nice part, but again, just because you're up 3-0, you're trying to close a team out, you're on the power play, you still want to move the puck around, you still want to get some stuff to the net and not let Tucson pounce. You know they're going to try and jump anytime that they have possession. Expect that top forward to take off.
Yeah, they got to make something happen towards Shelovs, and McGregor wins the faceoff straight ahead. Now he's in a foot race with Mancini. And McGregor got there and dumps it to the corner for Hebig. Hebig's dumped to the corner by Sammy Blais. And just a big boy play there by the Stanley Cup champ. And he takes over possession for Abbotsford. Blais to center for Carlson. Trying to tip it towards Nielsen. The Roadrunners pick it up and Connaughton sends it down. So far so good on this PK for Tucson. Abbotsford has 1:15 to work with. New personnel on the ice. Kudratsev to center. Arshdeep Bains lost it across the blue line, and the Canucks bring it in offside. Tucson hasn't even allowed Abbotsford to set up yet.
They've barely allowed them to get into the zone. And most of it comes off of, it's almost like they're trying to be a one-man breakout right now. If they can come back, all five get a bit more speed, that'll help at the line if you don't like the play that's there. Now you can chip it in, and instead of going to try and get it back yourself, you'll have your teammates with you trying to gain that back below the goal line.
Sasson, Bains, Waters up front. Kudratsev and Klimovich on defense as the Canucks win the face-off and play it back to their own end. Yamamoto trying to steal it. Chase Waters gets it out to center. He's hounded from behind, but still able to chip it in deep. So Duda, first to it, sees a hit coming from Bains, plays it up the wall smartly to Yamamoto, and he's joined by Walker shorthanded. Duda coming late as well. Yamamoto trying to chip it down low. It's blocked, and Bains will take his time instead of forcing one through center. Canucks have 35 seconds left to work with on this power play. They're going to make some changes. Kudratsev doesn't like what he sees, so he dumps it in. Waters, right corner, plays it behind the net. Sasson lost it. Lamoureux able to find Pagansky, and he dumps it down. And the Canucks are running out of time. McCartney's coming out in 15 seconds. Getting close towards the 6-minute mark of this third period. Still 3-0 Abbotsford. Here's Jet Wu dumping it into an empty corner. Smith and Lamoureux after it. Wu follows up, plays it to the point. Power play's nearly over. They got to be careful. Kara's shot off a stick and goes out of play. Last touch by Nate Smith, and the penalty to McCartney expires. So a solid PK there from Tucson. Something to build off maybe, as they didn't even allow a shot.
And definitely is. But for the Canucks, it's almost a perfect situation as the penalty expires exactly when the puck goes out of play, so you don't have to worry about the Tucson player coming out of the box. Everything will be set up. There's 5-on-5 with a draw deep in the offensive zone. As the linesmen have to jump back in as Zuber starts to cross-check one of the Canuck players a little bit and try and get the emotion going a little bit and get Canucks off their game. But as they step in for this face-off, try and gain this momentum back again after a power play that didn't quite gather enough off of it.
Smith, Kara, DiGiuseppe out there, and Smith just got waved out. So Kara, who is playing center tonight, will take it. Smith was there because it was on his strong side. He also plays center and wing. A lot of versatility for Coach Malhotra up and down the lineup. Kara against Agazino. Those two tie up, and the Roadrunners pick it up. Zuber up the wall to center. McCartney takes a hit to make the play. Hebig stuffed in front of the Canucks bench. And Kara will jam it to the red line where Zuber follows up and plays it in. Shilov stops it. Takes his time. Leaves it for Hirose. Hirose off the boards and all the way down. This will be icing as he's looking for Nate Smith along the wall, but couldn't reach him. 13:37 to play. Still 3-0 Abbotsford. And these two teams, Landon, got some goal-scoring depth. The Roadrunners had 4 20 goal scorers. Canucks had 2, but also had 11 different skaters hitting double digits in goals. And they scored at a pretty good clip during the regular season at Abbotsford. Finished 4th in the league in goal scoring with 241. In fact, 3 of the top 4 goal scoring teams came from the Pacific Division. Colorado had the most with 250. And we've seen that depth scoring tonight, courtesy of Chase Waters and Tristan Nielsen. Canucks win the face-off and dump it in the Tucson zone, and off they go to the bench. Inching towards the 7-minute mark, third period. Still no shots on Stauber. Here's Sammy Walker with speed down the right wing. Wrist shot stopped by Shilovs, and he'll hang on to that. Took it right in the logo, and there'll be a face-off to his left when play resumes. And we will step aside and come back with more third period action. Don't go anywhere, folks. The score, Abbotsford 3, Tucson no score. You are listening to Abbotsford Canucks Calder Cup Playoff Hockey, presented by BCLC Play Now on Sportsnet 650 and HLTV through FloHockey. Welcome back inside Abbotsford Center. Brando and Lando with you here in Game 3. Canucks Roadrunners 3-0 Abbotsford. Shots 33-16. You think Brando and Lando will take off? Do you like it?
Oh, I mean, it definitely
It
flows
hits.
together. There's a lot of.
You hate it, don't you? I'm still gonna do it.
Yeah,
You
that's
gotta take
fine.
advantage of this.
I just always liked a better nickname than Lando, but it just never got one, you know?
We'll work on it. Play resumes here in the third period. Sammy Blais looking for Ratu. Hit him in the chest, and the Roadrunners pick up the bounce. Hunter Drew across the line. Gonna take a quick shot, stopped by Shelovs, and he'll hang on for a face-off with 12:47 to go, and a little pushing and shoving ensues. Officials try to break them up. What is your nickname, or what was your nickname growing up?
It was Lando or Landon.
There you
there
go.
wasn't much to it. That's what I was saying. I never had a cool one, so it just, you hear it like,
Lando's cool.
hey, way to make a real creative nickname. You
I-
took an N off my name.
I thought it was original, but I can't believe you've been called that. That's wild. Huh.
Yeah, I might have been called Eeyore once or twice.
Okay,
Apparently I wasn't the happiest guy every day. I don't know. I thought I was.
You got called the name of the donkey?
Yeah, that was Tristan Grant as well.
All right, face off here, left circle. Let's focus, Lando. There's still lots of time to go in this game. 3-0 Abbotsford. Waters in the circle here against Barron, and Barron jumped early. He will get tossed. Steve Potman, the head coach, going to this fourth line again. Try to get some energy their way or momentum. And the Roadrunners win it clean. They actually have Sokolov on this line, another big body, who's taking the spot of Hunter Drew. So I think Steve Potman mixing things up here, trying to get some offense as Kudratsev reads the play beautifully and spins it to Baines, who clears. That pass was headed towards the slot. Could have been troublesome if Kudratsev wasn't there. And now Nielsen on the back check knocks it free to Mancini. Mancini hands off to Nielsen. Nielsen to Baines, and the entry was a little too ahead of the play, says the official on the far side. That's Jeremy Foucher. 12:20 to go in this slow-moving third period, which is fine if you're an Abbotsford fan, I think.
Yeah, lots of whistles, not much flow to the period so far. And you're right, it's exactly how you'd want the game to go if you're Abbotsford. But again, they're playing the game the right way. Nielsen just had a great back check that just because he's coming through the middle, it cuts off anything from east to west. And he's able to do it, get a stick on it, tips it to his defenseman, and before you know it, it's the play that comes up that they end up going offside, but it's a great look.
Roadrunners win the face-off in the neutral zone. Connaughton playing it in for Yamamoto's. Cut off beautifully by Hirose, and Smith plays it down the right wing in the attacking zone for Kara. Trying to get it back to Smith. He's pressured from behind by Pagansky. And now battle for the puck finds Jet Wu. The point sends it across Hirose. He'll take a shot, and Stauber makes his first save of the period at exactly the 8-minute mark. So he'll get set for a draw in his own zone. Will Jackson Stauber, who after 40 minutes in game 2 was perfect and allowed an early one to Linus Karlsson in the third, and that was it. Different story this time around here in game 3.
And it might have something to do with the fact that the Abbey Canucks have come out a lot more determined tonight. Not that they weren't trying to get pucks in and get them to the net. They got quite a bit there, but they're not letting those chances go by. They're really pouncing on them and putting them in and making them count.
Hirose, the point shot kicked away by Stauber, so all of a sudden back-to-back shots by the Canucks. And that came off a face-off win. Nate Smith with a nice job of keeping the line. Finds DiGiuseppe, who throws it behind the cage. Kara rubbed off the puck. Russo looking to break out. Plays it up the wall. Lutz under pressure, able to just get it out. Kara will sift it back for Jet Wu, though. And he sends it down. This might be icing, and it will be. Close call. But it is made by the back linesman, Jeremy Foucher. 11:34 to go, and the draw's coming back towards Shelovs this time.
And the Agazino, Walker, and Hebig line comes out. But if you're looking at the game as a whole here, you can almost see the fact of this period is just like the first period. It took Abbotsford about 7 minutes to get their first shot. Well, now they're hoping that it can end up like the first period as well, where they take over the game or take over the period for the last 12.
Folks, we'll have a full post-game show after this one's over, but we still got 11:30 left to go in the third. Artem Duda with a good pinch, kept it in, as Klimovich couldn't get it out. Now he'll have a chance to skate it himself to center. Klimovich having a solid game here tonight as he works his way in, but got it poked away by Hebig at the last second. Now Sammy Walker with a stretch pass in the attacking zone. Stops and waits for reinforcements. Feeds it around the net. McWard ties up Agazino. Freed up for Mueller. He'll one-hand it up the wing for Klimovich. And out it goes to center. We are at the 9-minute mark of the third period. Still 3-0 Abbotsford here in game 3. A Go Canucks Go chant making its way around the arena bowl. Here's Onyebuchi dumping it in. Shilovs couldn't stop it. It jumped over a stick. Agazino shoots it, and Shilovs was ready for it. Now Guillaume Brisebois makes a pass out of the reach of Waters. Onyebuchi to the point. Lamoureux can't get around Waters. A great defensive play there by the Canucks captain. And Chase will dump it in while getting hauled down from behind. And off he goes for a change. What a game Waters is putting together tonight. Here's Douglas poking it back to his own blue line for Lamoureux. Lamoureux to center for Douglas. This time he'll wrist it in. Mancini and Blais back to get it. And Blais, never in a rush, makes a strong pass to center. Ratu had it roll off his stick though. And the Roadrunners regroup. Hunter Drew trying to get away from Ratu. He does. And now under pressure from Carlson. Coughs it up, gets it back though. Drew, cross ice to Lamoureux as the Roadrunners change. We are at the halfway point of this third period. Still 3-0 Canucks. Kevin Connaughton plays it towards center. Sammy Blais had Paganski lined up, but Paganski stayed on his skates. Now McCartney the other way. On the left wing, tries a drag shot, didn't work. Kudratsev trying to clear, held in. Russo with a slap shot. That goes high and wide. Ricochets to the point for Zuber, who keeps it down low. Roadrunners trying to make something happen down low, but a good defensive play. Blais knocked his man off the puck, and it's cleared, and the Canucks are going to go to the power play. An undisciplined play again by the Roadrunners as Blais got decked. And it's Paganski, I think, getting the gate. Blais was the one that knocked him off the puck just before that, and in frustration, turned around and down went Blais, and the Canucks gonna get a power play. That's an easy cross-checking call to make there.
And I don't think it's Paganski. I believe he was down, waiting to see who ends up going in.
It was Yamamoto.
Yamamoto that ends up with the big cross-check after the big hit on Paganski, who came back to the far end of the bench, the D side, doubled over. You can tell that hit hurt him quite a bit, and he's feeling it still. But again, you could tell how this game goes. It's much like the first. The Canucks are just starting to slowly take it over, and you can feel the frustration of Tucson starting to creep in. They're down 3. They're watching the game clock tick down slowly and slowly. As it creeps under 10 minutes, the frustration is picked up, and they take an undisciplined penalty. So the Canucks go to the power play. 9:34. They're sitting 1 for 4 so far.
Fans making some noise. That's Yamamoto's 5th minor penalty of the series. He took 2 in game 1. He took 2 in game 2. I know he just took 1 just now. And the Canucks are going to put this one away. Baines plays it in front. Waters is there, and Stauber covers it up quickly before Waters could find the rebound.
I like how quick after the face-off was won, there was 4 passes made and a puck to the net. No messing around, no looking for the next best play. Just keep it simple. Make sure all 5 guys know what's going on and able to get above it if need be. But I like how quickly the puck moved to the net.
Again, the Canucks got to be careful because the Roadrunners will probably be looking to be aggressive to get on the board. Faceoff was done unfairly there, and the Canucks will need a new center to take it.
And that's where, exactly off your point, you know that Tucson's going to have to start being aggressive, but that's where you make your 2-on-1s. You find 2 of your guys, take on one of the PKers, because you know they're going to be taking chances. There's going to be open ice behind them.
Sasson going to take the draw. He's tied up, and I'll battle for it. It's swept out to center by McGregor. Canucks are out shooting the Roadrunners 36-18. They had 39 shots in game 2, and they just added a shot. The Canucks now have 37. So Stauber has seen a lot of rubber since coming in game 2. Here's Kudratsev off the point. He'll settle it down on the right side, and now the net's knocked up behind Stauber. And the Canucks are saying, hey, he did it intentionally, penalty shot.
Not the last 5 minutes of the game.
Nice try.
But it would be fun to watch. I wouldn't mind. That was out of nowhere. If we go back to that penalty shot with 34 seconds left, never seen that in a playoff game before.
Yeah, and caught everybody by surprise, except the Roadrunners. I give them credit. They were arguing right away that the ref should point to center, and he did.
It's funny how quick you can remember some obscure rule when it works in your favor.
Exactly, and Zuber took the penalty shot and was denied by Shilovs to preserve the Game 1 win. 1:27 to go in Yamamoto's cross-checking minor. Waters against McGregor here in the circle. Waters wins it. Baines working on a 2-assist game. Leaves it for Klimovich. He'll bank it back for Kudratsev. The rookie getting some late power play time in a must-win game. Here's Klimovich putting it towards the net. It's gloved down by Stauber as it hit a stick just before it reached them. So 45 seconds have gone off the penalty to Yamamoto, and both teams going to make some changes. 8:49 to go in the third.
And this for the Canucks. You're obviously on the power play. There's 1:15 left in that. But it's about getting fresh players out as much as you can. You don't need anyone to be tired. Make sure you have guys that are able to make that maximum effort. If there's ever a race for a puck or an extra time, you got to be hard on it.
Canucks fighting for it. Here's a chance in front. Sammy Blais scores! Bullseye! Sammy Blais, series leading third goal of this series, makes it 4-0, and this place explodes.
And this all starts off the face-off. The puck stays kind of right in the middle. Carlson's able to use his strength to grab the puck, shield it, and not just throw it back down around the boards. He looks over his shoulder and sees a wide open lane to Sammy Blais on the far point in the middle of the ice. Makes a perfect backhand pass. Sammy takes 2 steps in while he cradles it like a lacrosse player and just snipes one in. High blocker, 4-0, power play goal, 8:44 left. Game 3, looking to close it out.
Landon, if we get a look at the replay, there's a small play that Aatu Ratu makes. He took the draw with his knob, knocked it free to Carlson, who goes backdoor to Blais, who is wide open, and he buries it to make it 4-0, and now we got a delay here. I don't know if the Roadrunners might have taken a timeout to collect themselves, but they are in trouble with 8:44 to go. Sammy Blais has his 3rd power play goal of the series.
What an unbelievable sequence for the Canucks there. No easy plays, making hard, thought out passes that leads to a clear shot with Blais walking right down Main Street.
It'll be Blais from Carlson, and I hope Ratu, because he made a great play in the draw to keep things alive. Roadrunners down by 4. It's dumped in deep. Wu behind his net, leaves it for Di Giuseppe. So they have Tristan Nielsen in the secondary, since maybe he touched it after Ratu got it with his knob. So Nielsen's got a multi-point game going. Puck is in the Tucson zone, and now we got a penalty. Kara took down Zuber, and the fans don't like it, so a power play coming up for the Roadrunners. 8:15 to go.
And it's one of those things where for Kara, he's moving in, he gets just a little too tied up with them, and instead of just letting go, he ends up being a little too strong for his own good and puts Zuber right on his backside. So Kara gets the gate for 2 minutes. The play moves back to the other end. The Tucson Roadrunners going on their 4th power play of the night. Haven't been able to find a power play goal this series yet. This would be one heck of a time for it.
And if they do go on to lose this series, they can look back on their power play that was just not a factor. This is a must-score scenario, you would think. 8:15 to go, down by 4, and being outshot 38-18. The Canucks have come out like a bunch of tigers let out of a cage in a must-win Game 3. They were calm, they were collected. They've had some players in scenarios like this in their careers, and now they're gonna pull the goaltender. It's on the line right now. It's a 6-on-4 for Tucson. 8 minutes to go, the goaltender's at the bench. How about this? An aggressive move from Steve Potvin, the head coach, as Yamamoto plays it up top. Over to Sammy Walker. Walker down low, Sokolov in front, McCartney can't stuff it home. Mancini battling Sokolov. Mancini wins the battle. He's going to the empty net, he's gonna miss. The Canucks have immunity. They can rip it at the net from as far as they want. as they're down a man for the next minute 25. That was just a man amongst boys for Mancini, and Sokolov is a monster. That's just strength and effort as the Roadrunners bring it in offside. Shilov's had it there, Landon. I wonder if he's looking at the empty net.
You could almost see the indecision in him as he stepped behind the net, knowing he had a lot of time. And you could see him debate it. Do I try and throw it or not? But the thing ends up being offside, and they move it back to center.
Stauber back between his pipes. If his team gets possession and goes back in the Abbotsford zone, you think he's probably going to go right to the bench. 7:36 to go. Sammy Blais has the only goal this period. And what has been controlled by the Canucks, they have 5 shots to Tucson's 4. Roadrunners get possession, and there goes Stauber. He's not even going to wait for his team to take it through center. It's another 6-on-4 opportunity. Yamamoto lost the puck. Empty net for Ratu, and he's going to miss. That could have been a dagger right there. A minute to go in this Roadrunners power play. Sammy Walker with speed plays it in for Agazino, and Walker was way offside. Whistle sounds, and Stauber jumps back over the bench. He's going to go to his crease.
The Abbey Canuck PK doing a great job in their neutral zone forecheck. They're not overly aggressive by any means, but at the same time, their 2 forwards are right up inside the dots. The D are able to stay up above the blue line, so as that puck gets moved out to the left side, the first D-man can rush out quick, hold it, and that causes the offside. Any little bit of indecision you can cause Tucson just adds up. All the little bit of timing gets thrown off, and offsides and start to come into play.
So Sammy Blais has a point in every game this series. He's tied for the league lead in playoff scoring with 3 goals and 1 assist. Canucks win the ensuing faceoff. Guillaume Brisebois able to drift one all the way down. Power play is over here in 45 seconds for Tucson. Under 7 minutes to go here in a deciding game number 3. There goes Stauber to the bench. 6-on-4 again for the visitors. They got new personnel out there. The 4th line is out. How about that confidence from Steve Potvin? Roadrunners playing around the outside. It comes to the point. Hunter Drew to the right wing for Russo. Douglas screening in front. It's played down low for Barron. Cross-ice pass stolen by Baines because Wu got in the way, and Arshdeep Baines calmly dumps it down, and the Canucks change.
And a smart play by Baines, not trying to force it to the net, just make sure it gets all the way down and they get a line change.
10 seconds left in this power play. Drew dumps it in. Canucks have given them nothing, and now an empty net chance by Mancini is going to go well wide. And now the Canucks get their man Kara out of the box. It's 6-on-5 with 6:10 to go. Still 4-0 Abbotsford. Again, the Roadrunners get nothing on a power play. Puck is tied up in the Abbotsford zone. Waters keeping Walker to the outside. It's behind the net for Sokolov. He'll slow things down. Sokolov to the right corner. Now up top for Duda. Traffic forms in front. Duda to Agazino inside the right circle. Wrist shot blocked by Hirose. Comes back to Agazino. Under 6 minutes to go, 3rd period. Still 6-on-5 for Tucson. Duda, right point. Goes cross to Yamamoto. Nice stutter step move, gets away from Blais. Throws one towards the slot and hit a body. Now Mancini for Blais. He'll backhand it to some open ice in the attacking zone. It's going towards the goal line. It's a great curling shot. It checks up, not enough for icing. Both teams change. Net is still empty. The Canucks can ice the series, you'd think, with one more goal here. Hunter Drew plays it off a skate. It comes to Duda. The rookie takes a shot, blocked by Di Giuseppe. Chance at the empty net, hit the post. Oh, almost ended right there, and it's going to be icing. You can hit the post and still ice it. 5:05 to go, still 4-0 Abbotsford.
That's their 5th chance at throwing it down. You know the old saying, right? 6 times the charm?
I almost spat out my water.
Didn't know I was that funny. I'm feeling great about myself right
You know
now
what?
as
Come
well.
to think about it, I've heard that a lot in my life.
But the Canucks doing a great job not letting Tucson really get set up in the offensive zone at all. And even when they do, they're down 6-on-5, but they're able to keep the pressure on to where there's no easy looks.
We got a timeout called from Tucson. I thought they might have used it after that Sammy Blais goal because there was a long delay before we dropped the puck, but I guess they did not. And now the whiteboard is out at the Roadrunners bench. They're not going to go down without a fight. They're down by 4. Beat-out shot 38-19 as Country Roads makes its way around the speakers.
Never
Always
a bad
nice to sing
one.
along when your team's up by 4, right?
It's always a good feeling, especially when you're sitting on the bench. If you know you're not one of the guys to go out there, you have the sound going on. You can just sitting around waiting for the face-off to go again, but that excitement starts to build. You hear the crowd getting into it. You're up 4. You know you got to finish out the last 5 minutes. Anything can happen, but you're in a good spot. Just keep the hard work up.
Canucks are looking for a better effort on the power play tonight. They are 2 for 5. They got 2 power play goals in game 1, 0 for 5 in game 2. A much better performance tonight, and a penalty kill spectacular, 4 for 4, and 10 for 10 in the series. We're back underway after the timeout. Big hit behind the net. McCartney decks Breezeball as they take another crack at the empty net, and the 7th time won't be the charm. Breezeball's all right as he has a chat with McCartney. He didn't like how he lowered the shoulder on him in the chest.
That's one of those plays when you're Breezeball, you end up going next to McCartney again and say, good job, that was a great hit. You still didn't get the puck.
Folks, get those texts in the Dunbar Lumber text inbox, 650-650. Landon and I will have lots to recap in the post-game show as the Canucks win the face-off, and Ratu, fighting for the bouncing puck, knocks it loose to DiGiuseppe, and he'll get it off the glass towards the Tucson blue line. DiGiuseppe's had a couple rips to the empty net. Will he try a third if he gets it? We shall see. Agazino dumps it in. Jet Wu and Breezeball back to get it. Wu fans on his clearing attempt, gets a second crack at it, finds Carlson who backhands at the center. Now the foot race is on. DiGiuseppe to the empty net, and he missed it on the backhand. Will the 9th time be the charm? 4:20 to go. 4-0 Canucks. Both teams change. Net still empty.
But again, they do a good job of not forcing it. They've already iced the puck a few times. DiGiuseppe knew that he had to get it to the other side of the red.
Fans are cheering, we want 5. We want 5. Zuber at center. Nice pass. Drew takes the feed. Wrist shot. Looked like he broke his stick. He's got to go to the bench for a new one. Canucks looking to clear the zone, but they can't. Here's a one-timer by Barron that's blocked by Kudratsev. And now it's Fedor on the wing for Arshdeep Bains. Takes his time, jams it down the ice, not enough for icing. 3:40 to go. Hunter Drew wants a piece of Arshdeep Bains, and that's not going to happen. Those two separate. Russo playing it to center, hits a skate, finds Ty Mueller to the empty net, and he missed. This will be another icing call with 3:28 to go. I think the next practice, at the end, Manny Malhotra just lines everyone up from their own goal line, and they all just take a crack at the empty.
It's one of the best bag skates that you can do. You have everyone line up, you take a shot, you score, no one has to skate. You miss, the whole team's got to do a lap. It's one of the best.
So a face-off of the right circle. Mueller's out there to take it against Walker. Roadrunners win it back, still 6-on-5. Duda with a point shot blocked. It comes to Waters and he'll flick it out. The point shot hasn't worked tonight, Landon, and I talked to Manny Malhotra before the game. You might have heard it, folks, in our conversation. He knows that's where they generate their offense, and Canucks wingers, give them credit. They've been sealing off opportunities, blocking shots, and the team's been selling out, as not many have reached Shilov's tonight, as DiGiuseppe has it at the attacking blue line. He's got a man offside as his shot is blocked. 3 minutes to go, third period. Still 4-0 for the home side. Here's Yamamoto across the blue line. Stolen, DiGiuseppe to the empty net, scores this time! Dust yourself off, try 9 more times, and they finally hit the empty net. It is 5-0 Abbotsford.
And as soon as he could see that thing was actually going to get between the two posts instead of hitting it going out, a big smile pops onto DiGiuseppe's face as he knows he's just iced the series. 5-0. Abby leads, under 3 minutes to go.
That's DiGiuseppe's first of the playoffs.
And you can hear the crowd, everyone's getting into it, towels are waving. It's a good atmosphere in here tonight.
The fans wanted 5 and they just got it. 2:51 to go. They got to add it to the scoreboard though. Puck is dumped in, and this will be another icing call against the Canucks. They had 39 shots, as I mentioned in game 2. They got 39 right now, and just an unreal performance when they needed it, Landon, from start to finish.
Exactly, and the biggest difference is, yeah, they might have 39 shots again, but they also have the 5 goals to go with it. It's a bit of a different feel. They were able to get to Stauber earlier tonight, and after him early and often.
Zuber off the point, got it blocked by Nielsen. It comes out to center. Zuber picks it back up. As the fans react to Al Murdoch announcing the goal from Phil DiGiuseppe. Nate Smith gets his first point in the series. He's had a strong game. Now the Roadrunners looking to get on the board. A shot by Drew is blocked, and the Canucks are getting a penalty here. As it was actually Hebig who shot it. He was slashed, so a delayed call. Zuber across the blue line. Takes it to the right corner. 6 on 5 as Klimovich touches up. 2:12 to go, and the fans are now chanting they want 6.
They might as well. You know that they're going to pull the goalie again.
And we'll step aside. We'll come back and finish off this series, folks. The score, Abbotsford 5, Tucson no score. You are listening to Abbotsford Canucks Calder Cup Playoff Hockey, presented by BCLC Play Now on Sportsnet 650 and HL TV through FloHockey. Welcome back to Abbotsford. 2:12 on the clock. The Canucks shorthanded for a 5th time. Tucson is 0 for 4 on the power play tonight, as the puck is cleared quickly and they kept the goaltender in the crease. The white flag might have just gone up here. Down by 5 as the Canucks have possession, and Mueller calmly flicks it all the way down the ice. And pretty quickly you'll hear the fans get on their feet to salute a solid nail gun performance from the Abbotsford Canucks. Here's Sokolov down the right wing. To the point for Yamamoto. Back to Sokolov. Artur Shilov's getting his name chanted by the fans. They love him here in Abbotsford. He always gets a big cheer when he's announced the starting goaltender. Now chance in front. Shilov's a save. And he will hang on, and the fans love it with 90 seconds to go.
That's a great save. It gets just over his pad, but Shilovs is able to squeeze his glove down, seal that little hole that was there to make a great save. Minute 30 left.
Both teams change. Shots are 39-21. And pretty low event in this final frame for Tucson. That was just their 6th shot on Shilovs in this frame. Off the face-off. Mancini battling for it. Good body positioning, and he will get it to his blue line and dump it down. He's just something else when he's got those feet moving, which he always does. He uses that big body to protect and just makes it look easy. Just love how he is part of that trade.
Yeah, he's had an unbelievable finish to the season up in Vancouver and then continuing on down here since coming over.
Just over a minute to go in the 3rd period, and this place about to get loud as Mancini took out the linesman. Canucks playing pitch and catch in their own end. Aatu Ratu at center, chops it down. 50 seconds to go here in game 3. How does Palm Springs sound in late April, folks?
Pretty
I know
nice.
Abbotsford likes the sound of that. That'll be their 2nd round opponent, the Coachella Valley Firebirds. and Abbotsford will have home ice advantage and can decide if they want the first 2 or the last 3. Normally you take the last 3 if you have the building availability. Roadrunners dump it down. This will be icing. 26 seconds to go, and the towels are swinging again inside Abbotsford Center as these fans are loving what they're seeing tonight.
And as they should. The Abbey Canucks came out, knew they had a job to do, and have just put in a maximum effort. Every single guy has had a pretty good game tonight. I can't think of one guy that hasn't, just brought his part, his game to the team tonight. And they've come out with a great showing.
20 seconds to go. We'll let the crowd take you down. Four seconds left, and that will do it. Let's get out of here. The Abbotsford Canucks just called series. They're off to the next round. A clinical, surgical performance in a gotta-have-it game. 5-0 the final. Artur Shilovs picks up his first career Calder Cup playoff shutout. A suffocating performance from the team in green, and they will take on the Coachella Valley Firebirds in the next round.
Shilovs does such a great job tonight, standing tall when he had to. There wasn't a ton of massive saves to be made, but when he was needed and called upon, he was there. Even at the end, minute and a half left, preserving his own shutout, makes a beautiful save.
We got the handshakes taking place at center. A lot of respect between these two teams, and hats off to Tucson, man. It has been a battle all season. They didn't get off to a great start in the regular season. They had to scratch and claw to get in the playoffs. They didn't clinch until the last game of the year, and they gave the Canucks all they could handle in a best of 3. Gave them a bit of a scare, you would think, after the performance they had in game 2, but the Canucks, in their day off, were able to reset, regroup, get back to their game plan, and boy, you couldn't have drawn it up any better tonight.
Yeah, they came back and answered perfectly, and really at the end of the day, the better team won. They've had a really good series. Even in the game they lost, it was really, they ran into a hot goalie and couldn't find goals. But they didn't let that frustrate them. They didn't change the way they were going to go about their business in game 3. And because of it, they're sitting here waiting for the handshake line to finish to salute the crowd after a Series 1 win.
We'll step aside, folks, as these fans are not done yet, as Shilovs is shown on the Jumbotron. The post-game show is next. Stay with us. The final score in game 3. I can barely hear myself. It's Abbotsford 5, Tucson no score. You're listening to Abbotsford Canucks Calder Cup Playoff Hockey, presented by BCLC Play Now on Sportsnet 650 and HLTV through FloHockey.